Hello everybody. Happy Sunday. Hope your weekend is going fantastically. It is a beautifully gloomy day here today out in Oregon, or at least my part of Oregon. We've been having a drought, like a really serious drought, and I believe Southern Oregon has it way worse than we do. But the last few days here, it's been rainy. It's been delightfully atmospheric. Basically my favorite mood. You know, I don't want like rain all the time, but like I like it when there's a good mix. Havoc, Warlock, welcome in guys. How's everybody doing this morning? So yeah, I'm enjoying the rain. We're gonna try a new tea today, which I feel like fits the rainy aesthetic of the day. Joel, welcome in. Sun has just come out here in the sunny south, but about 30% chance of rain later today. Awesome. Like I said, I like a mix. You know, if we get a little bit of sun, a little bit of rain, like that's like the best of both worlds to me. Since I moved out here to Oregon, sometimes we get thunderstorms, but very few. In fact, I'm starting to wonder if I could count on one hand the number of actual thunderstorms I've seen since moving out to Oregon like 4 or 5 years ago. We visited Seattle once a couple years ago, and it rained like the entire time we were there, and apparently that's pretty normal. And I think that would be too much rain. It's got to be a good balance, in my humble opinion. So yeah, have y'all been watching the E3 stuff this weekend? I've only been able to catch a little bit of it. I saw after the fact Ubisoft announced a bunch of new stuff, none of which really lit my world on fire. I thought it was interesting. Yeah, you haven't? Yeah, I thought it was interesting. They're announcing, I guess, a second year of DLC for Assassin's Creed. Traditionally, they do like 1 year of DLC and then either nothing or they just release a new game. So this is new in that regard. Also, usually they have like, yeah, I keep hearing good things about Devolver's like events, and I haven't seen any of them. You know, I usually catch the trailers afterward, but I never watch the actual events. So I need to like probably catch up on that. Seattle has frequent rain, but not heavy rain. It's just all gray and dreary, except for about 6 weeks in August into September. Yeah, I think that would be too much for me. Whether it's heavy rain or just you know, kind of steady. If it was that steady for you know, 10 and a half months, I don't think I could handle that. So I think I made the right choice moving to Oregon instead of Seattle. But yeah, today, I guess in a couple hours, is the Xbox Bethesda event. It's not really an event as much as it's a top tier parody movie. I see. Interesting. I really need to watch this because I'm reading the words that you wrote, and I can't imagine what that is in a press conference setting. So yeah, their events don't strike a chord for me. They seem like Adult Swim Cartoon Network stuff that doesn't really work for me. Okay, all right, so it's probably very divisive as to whether or not you'll like it. Is what I'm hearing here. You know, today's the Xbox Bethesda thing, and I'm curious what we're gonna see. Sometimes Microsoft's events are like very corporate-y and like just cringy, you know. I don't know. And other times they're fine, you know. I mean, are we gonna have like id and Bethesda Softworks guys come out, like Todd Howard and I don't know, whoever's in charge of id these days? Machine Games, I guess, you know, they're working on that Indiana Jones game, so maybe we'll hear more about that today. That would be interesting. And then there's the Square Enix thing later this afternoon. And supposedly, MS events are never very fine. They are the evil empire. Well, fair enough. I haven't had an Xbox for quite a while, but I do have a Game Pass subscription, so I'm always kind of keeping my eye on what's coming to Game Pass and that kind of thing. You know, I suppose that this could be a good time to hear more about Halo, since their last reveal kind of tanked with fans. Supposedly the Square Enix event today will not have anything Final Fantasy related. It's going to be, I guess, about what is it called? Outriders? Whatever their co-op looter shooter is. And supposedly the studios that worked on Tomb Raider recently are doing a Guardians of the Galaxy game. That's the rumor anyway. So, you know, that doesn't really excite me, but, you know, I'm sure somebody will be. Yeah, I'm really interested in trying the tea, Joel. You know, you said you don't really add anything to it, and somebody else told me that they drink smoky tea all the time, and they add milk and sugar, I think. So I'm gonna try it straight first. We'll drink a whole cup like that, and then maybe later I'll make another cup and add some milk and sugar and see what I think. Lately I have been drinking black teas with a little bit of milk and sugar, and it's been really good. I really liked it. But yeah, I definitely want to try it just on its own first. You know, the instructions say like steep it for 4 to 5 minutes, so I'll probably do it for 4 minutes to start, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it though. Seems like Ubisoft has been putting BGE 2 on the back burner or killing it. Yeah. And there was all that controversy with the creator too a couple years ago, right? So he left, I believe, right? So who's leading that game? Who's leading that development? I mean, it takes hundreds of people to make Ubisoft games, so it's not like he's the linchpin necessarily, but was it Michel Ancel or something like that? I feel like I'm mixing him up with someone else. Anyway, regardless, as always, I hope we get more info on Beyond Good and Evil 2, but since it wasn't in the events yesterday, I guess it's another year of waiting, which is a real bummer. He left. Yeah, got it. Um, it's I we probably won't, but I really hope one day we get like a big expose on everything that happened with Beyond Good and Evil 2 over the years. I'm sure it's not just one thing. But man, like if Jason Schreier, that reporter who has a lot of sources in the industry, if he did like a book just on that would be fascinating. That would be really fascinating. What do you type in there, Warlock? Are you censoring Ansel? They're making a game that no one wanted, so I'm okay. Yeah, I mean, I would have been interested to see what it was regardless. The couple of trailers we got didn't really resonate with me, but I mean, the other problem is that they're hitting up against the fact that most of Ubisoft's AAA games at this point are big are big open world, like forever games, and like how does that fit in with Beyond Good and Evil? I don't know. I have no idea. You want the sequel to the cliffhanger, not the prequel. Yeah. It's been so long since I played the original game that I don't really remember the cliffhanger or anything, but I just remember the style, and the mood of that game, and that's what I loved about it. It just seemed funny to me that his name was so much like the Forbidden I word on Twitch. I see, man. I didn't even put that together. So do any other fans. Yeah. I suppose it's better to not have a disappointing game come out at all than to have the disappointment come out, because then it just hurts even more. I don't know. I'm all for more games, but there are so many games, right? So one less that we have to play, I guess, is a good thing, at least for our time management perspectives anyway. The game they were selling sounded like Star Citizen. Oh, really? Huh. Yeah, see, it's like I've always wanted a Firefly game, like some sort of open world Firefly, explore space and land on planets kind of game. And I almost feel like that would fit with Beyond Good and Evil, but that's, like you said, that's not what people really want in a sequel. Here's the city, zoom out. Okay, yeah, got it. I feel like their Starlink game is like halfway to being like a Firefly adaptation. It would just be, swapping out the characters in the story. Not really, but I don't know. I could see it being kludged into that. They announced that Avatar movie game, which I don't know anything about other than that it exists. And, of course, I always want an adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I could see Ubisoft doing an open world game of that, and that I would really like. Although Ubisoft doesn't really do like cartoony, cel shaded type stuff anymore. So it would be interesting. I mean, I guess Immortals Phoenix Rising was kind of like that. Definitely had a cartoony aesthetic. I mean, it definitely wasn't animated looking or cel shaded or whatever the word is. But anymore. Well, yeah, like I feel like, I mean, maybe they weren't going for it, but like the old Prince of Persia games and Beyond Good and Evil, they kind of had a animated aesthetic. I don't know. I'm reaching here, but oh yeah, I'm just talking about the visuals. You're right. It was definitely a Zelda game, for sure. But the visuals. Did Ubisoft do 13? Yeah. I forgot that they did that. I don't know. It seems like a natural aesthetic for a lot of games, and for whatever reason, I guess the reason is that people don't do it more is that realistic graphics are what sells and what's sexy. So having something a little more stylized is not always considered what people want. But I would love more stylized games. It's like the more realistic games get, the more diminishing returns there are. aesthetically anyway. Borderlands beat it to death. Well, I remember how striking Borderlands looked the first time I saw it, and now, yeah, I kind of agree that it's just kind of like whatever, but there's so many different styles within that you could do. Borderlands doesn't look like Wind Waker, for example. Wind Waker is like what I would imagine like an Avatar, The Last Airbender adaptation would look like. I don't know. It's like how James Bond couldn't be silly anymore after Austin Powers. Interesting. I mean, I saw people excited about the new Tiny Tina game from Gearbox. I've played almost no Borderlands, so I'm not really familiar with the series, but people seemed excited for her. I guess Ashley Birch voices that character, and she's like one of the popular faces from that series. But I feel like Borderlands 3 came out, and then I didn't really hear much about it, so I don't know if people just played it and then moved on, or if it didn't sell. I have no idea, really, one way or the other. It's a full game. Havoc. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's supposed to be a full... it's like Tiny Tina's Wonderland or something. Don't quote me on that, but it's definitely a spin-off, but it is its own full thing. Oh, I see. You'd think it would have sold pretty well on consoles, though. I don't know. Yeah, Borderlands, my wife and I tried it once, and we bounced right off it. I didn't think it was very fun. She didn't like fiddling with the gear, the weapons and stuff. And playing on split screen is not how that game is meant to be played, so that is the entirety of my experience. We played about like an hour and a half of it, and that was it. So I think we got the game for like $5, so it's always something that I'm like curious about, and I know people really love, but I just that series just passed me by completely. And apparently the Telltale games, Tales from the Borderlands, there's a very vocal subset of fans who love that game more than the actual shooter franchise. So I can see myself playing that before I play the actual Borderlands games. It wasn't well received, Warlock. Okay, yeah. I know it's tough for these ongoing franchises to keep people's interest without reinventing, completely. I thought I loved it, but I think it was just a game Apple and I could play. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, there's definitely people over the years I've heard who say they'll play anything as long as it has co-op. And I think a lot of people will forgive a lot if they can just play with a friend. Verdict was kind of good mechanics, bad writing. Got it. Well, that's too bad. Because I thought Borderlands 2 was supposed to be like really well written, right? That was like Anthony Birch. I don't know what he's doing these days. I don't know if he's still working at Gearbox or what he's doing. I remember watching him and his sister Ashley doing the Hey Ash, What You Playing YouTube series, which was hilarious. And then they both kind of broke into the games industry. She did voice acting. He got hired to write. And I guess they stopped doing that, which is kind of a bummer, but it sounds like they're doing really well for themselves, so I'm sure they're not too disappointed by that. They lost the lead. I see. Took like 5 tries and 6 years to finish Borderlands 2. Wow. Well, at least you were tenacious enough to stick with it eventually. I don't think I've been that tenacious. There's definitely been games I've tried multiple times. Some I came around on, and some I didn't. But yeah, 5 tries. That's impressive. Okay, so I'm gonna go make this cup of tea. I'm gonna bring it up here. We'll let it steep for a few minutes, and then we'll give it a try, and then we'll move on to Disco Elysium. So I'll be back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere, and we'll see what I think of this smoky tea. All right, we're back. Tea is steeping. We got about a little over 2 minutes left, and then we'll give it a try. My longest BL2 run was stopped short by a grind wall. Must have tried at least 3 times. Yikes, that's a bummer. Last time I played it, it was 30 minutes and I beat the game, so I didn't know I left it just before the end of a year prior. Oh my gosh. Like, did you even remember what was going on at that point? That's funny. Like, it's weird how some games you get to the end very suddenly and you're like, oh, I guess we're done. Like, I don't know. Sometimes the games feel like they ran out of time at the end, you know, to give it the proper conclusion. Fuck no. Yeah. I have no idea what's happening in this story. I guess we won. It's not the same thing, but it's always interesting how abruptly like the Half-Life games end. Usually you get to an epic point that feels like you're at the end, but still they never resolve the plot. So it's always just a big thing happened and now you gotta wait to get more story. Really want a Half-Life 3 or whatever. I'm not going to get a VR headset, you know, so I'm not going to play Half-Life Alyx. I watched the end of Havoc's playthrough of Alyx, and you know, so I'm like excited for what happened in the story, but like, is it going to be another 10 years before we get like a little sliver of narrative? I don't know. I really like Half-Life though. Man, this tea, it smells like campfire in the best way. It is delightful, I gotta say. Yeah, like it smells like hot liquid campfire. That sliver was good though. Yeah. I watched the VOD of the ending of it from your playthrough, and oh my gosh, so good, so good. I thought I saw that somebody's working on a mod to be able to play it without VR. If that works, okay, I'm trying to turn off this timer. There we go. Okay, all right. We're gonna take the tea bag out. I don't want this to get too strong. My delicate sensibilities can't take it, you know. Okay, this is a very dark tea. You wouldn't personally play it? I think for me, it's like if I have no other option of playing it, but I mean, yeah, it's like if it's not any good, then I might just hold off anyway. So, okay. So like I said, this smells like a campfire. It's very dark. Okay, let's give it a try here. That's really good. That's really good. Like, it smells really strong, but the flavor is actually not, you know, overwhelming or anything. It's not too bitter. Yeah, it's nice. Like, it kind of does taste like, yeah, no, I actually like it. And like, I'm gonna say something that sounds bad, but it's not. Like, yeah, barbecue tea, like, it tastes like I'm chewing on mesquite like chips or something, but not in a bad way. Like, it's bonkers. I don't think I've ever had anything like this before, you know, tea or otherwise. It's like, yeah, now you're interested. Yeah. You know, the smell of like mesquite and like campfire and barbecue is like very comforting, and it's like you're just drinking that comforting feeling like directly into your throat. It's really good. It's really good, you guys. I'm gonna try it with cream and maybe sugar, but I can see myself just drinking it like this. This is actually very good on its own. You know, I've tried some other like British breakfast teas and stuff that I'm just like, no, I can't do this without cream or whatever. But this is good. This is really good. I'm gonna find the link, which is the one that Joel gave me, and where I ordered it from. I'll drop it here in the chat in case you guys want to as well. Here we go. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna drop this here, so you guys can try it out. The tea itself was not too much. I mean, it's more expensive than like the cheap teas I normally buy, but it was like $10 of shipping on top of that. So if you guys can find it, you know, elsewhere with free shipping or something, like, go ahead and try that. But yeah, I like this. Thank you, Joel. Sorry it took so long, but it took a while to arrive. So, but man, it was worth the wait. This is very good. This is very good. I feel like a whole new world has opened up to me. The local Kroger store here carries it sometimes. Yeah, so I looked on the website for our local Kroger branded store. They're called Fred Meyer out here, and they didn't have anything, unfortunately. So, because yeah, I tried. I thought, yeah, it would make more sense to just buy it locally, and couldn't find anything. So I just decided to bite the bullet and have it shipped out here. And they didn't have any brand of this type of tea, so it wasn't just this brand in particular. And like I said, I never even heard of this until you brought it up. So I don't know if it's like a super niche thing, or if Oregonians just don't like tea. I don't know. This is like, I said earlier, like, I felt like this tea is good for this like gloomy, rainy day, and like, this has been 1,000% confirmed. This is like the perfect tea for a day like this. So I think this is a great start to the day, and I'm looking forward to trying more of this. The box came with like 50 bags, so we have plenty to get through in the future. And I suspect I will be drinking this on stream, at least in the mornings, the Sunday morning streams, because it's caffeinated. This will be my go-to Sunday morning stream for the foreseeable future. So I think the only other thing I had to bring up today was we'll have our Tuesday and Wednesday streams this week, like normal, and then I have some family coming to visit on Sunday, a week from today, so I'll probably miss the Sunday and Tuesday streams next week. So I might try to do an extra stream on Saturday, this coming Saturday. I don't know. We'll see. But you know, we're in the after times now, and got family stuff happening. So and it's summer, so we'll things will be in flux. You know, I think next month we're my wife and I are taking a trip to Southern Oregon for a weekend, so we'll miss a stream there as well. So it's all good though. I'm really excited to do more road trips and just see the world again. So it will be worth it. But I plan to continue streaming for the foreseeable future, and I enjoy it enough for its own sake that I'm happy to just keep plugging away at it and tweaking things on stream and figuring out what I'm doing day to day. So I hope y'all enjoy hanging out here, and I plan to be here for the long term, I think. So all right, so having said all that, let's go play a video game, right? Let's switch over here, click continue. As always, if you are watching on desktop, you'll be able to vote on dialogue options and stuff. Supposedly you can adjust my stats as well if I turn that on. I don't really know. Oh, I clicked the thing. Well, I don't really know what this does, but yeah, so if something entertaining happens, we'll get y'all's opinions on how we respond. So yeah, we ended last time with karaoke. It went very well. Looks like we can't do it again. We put on an amazing outfit, I gotta say, for our karaoke. But it's time to get serious again. And oh boy, what do we got? What do we want to? Where were we going with this? I think so. And right, we got the cool office shades. Or neat office shades. Okay, that's fine. Were we happy with our hat? Our conical hat? I mean, maybe. Possibly. I don't really remember, to be perfectly honest. We'll put on the boots. The boots boost our perception. That's good. Yeah, I don't see any hats that we really like more than the conical hat here. So let's see, what else happened last time? We met some drug dealers. They wanted us to boot some ghosts out of a church. We found a cryptozoologist. He wants us to inspect traps, so we'll do that. We also found a body, another body. There are 2 bodies in this game now, so we need to make some phone calls about that. So maybe we'll start with that. We'll go to the police car and call into the station and all that stuff, and we'll just see what happens from there. I think we also need to pick up some dice from the dice maker. I don't know what we're going to use that for, but that's okay. And I think we might send Kim away, Lieutenant Kim. He needs to take the body away, but he'll be gone for the whole day when he does that. And I'm thinking we do that now because we're in the evening time, and then we won't be missing him for like a whole day tomorrow. So yeah, let's go to the car here and see what options we have. All right, let's pick up the radio.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Okay, connect me to the Jamrock Public Library. So we found down here, it says we found a dead body on the boardwalk, and he had a library card on him. So we need to investigate that. So let's do that first. Oh, they're closed. Okay, well that's fine. Well, let's go ahead and report this dead body. Can you please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death. An unidentified middle-aged man, height 170 to 175 centimeters, dark hair, medium build. Looks like he slipped, fell through a hole in the boardwalk, and hit his head against the metal bench. We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him and traces of vomit on his shirt. Any signs of violence? No, he just fell through the boardwalk. It's a horrific accident, but it was an accident. No field autopsy necessary. You can hear her quickly typing in the background. What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes? He was wearing boots, trousers, and an old leather jacket with a bright blue lining. I found a library card from his pockets. Any information on the card? It's from Central Jamrock Billy Public Library. It belongs to someone named Billy Mijan. Good, you have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case? No. Or yes, we are taking the case. I've assigned the case to Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. Right. Have you heard back from the ICP about the serial number? I don't remember what that's about. Oh, the armor that the lynching victim was wearing. Okay, the armor was produced by Fairweather in their facilities in Betancourt, sur la Clef in 42. It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect the interests of Orion's pharmaceutical companies in the Seminine conflict. Okay, that was a lot of words. So it seems the armor went to Seminine. That's where the paper trail ends. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Corps de Pharmacie has been renamed several times over the years since the armor was issued. Well, do you know what they're called now? The most recently registered firm that the ICP has been able to connect to the CDP is a military contractor called Krenel. And the one before it was Downwell. I think they might be the same contractor. So the murder victim was a mercenary and he was wearing armor, and we are trying to track down where this armor came from. I don't really know what that tells us, but that's what we're doing here. A suit of armor like this would have been manufactured with a particular person's physique in mind. You should ask for whom this suit was fitted. Let's take another drink of our delightful tea here. I cannot believe how good that is. Like, I was skeptical, smoky tea, I don't get it. But man, trying it now, I'm 1,000% on board. First, has the firm continued to work for pharmaceutical companies through all these name changes? Hard to say. Their client list is rather diverse and incomplete. The only constant seems to be that the mercenaries are always deployed in third and fourth world countries. I haven't heard of a fourth world country. I'm not sure I want to know what that is. A suit of armor like this would have been customized to fit the wearer. There must be a record of the person to whom it was issued. Yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private sector records. I could try to talk them into it, though. Please do. It's imperative that we learn whose armor this was. Right, okay. So the reason we're doing this is we're trying to identify the murder victim. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have more information for you then. Okay. Was there anything else?
10-4, Camille officer, over.
Oh, right. We found our badge. We can go talk to Joyce as well about that. Ah, okay. I'm happy to report that I found my badge, Jules. 10-4, glad to hear that. I'll write down that there's no need to issue a new one to you. Over. Okay. We're not going to tell them that we lost my gun. We're just not going to do that. Okay. I think we're done here. I think we're done. One of our thoughts finished.
Guillaume Le Million.
Finished internalizing. Guillaume Le Million.
Bad news. Guillaume Le Million did not become a cop. In 38, he went on a tour to the Sinyao province in Safre, where he died of autoerotic asphyxiation.
Oh,
his
no.
body was found hanging from a decorative dragon tree in his junior suite amid drug paraphernalia, unwholesome objects, and the Sylvia Trainer single, Wonderland, skipping in the background. And yes, you can take this as a metaphor for Revachol in the 30s, and also as a warning.
So we have taken in this debauchery into our brain, and it now lives there, apparently. So next time we level up, we have one more thought slot we could unlock. And if we wanted to learn any more thoughts, we'd have to give up one of the ones that we have. So that's a consideration for the future, I guess. So it's 8:15 at night. Let's see if Kim will be able to take the body to the morgue at this point. The man is decomposing visibly now. Every hour, he looks less like a creature and more like a pile of intestines. Ugh. Let's bag him and take him away. The lieutenant takes the body away. You work alone for the rest of the day. Okay, that's fine. All right. He takes out a shiny black body bag and starts pulling the plastic over the dead man's face. And we leveled up. I will need a little help carrying him. You take the hands, I'll take the legs. He hasn't said anything about the fact that we stole the armored boots. He hasn't said anything yet, anyway. Okay, so Kim is gone for the rest of the day. What do we have here? Do we want to internalize another thought? Do we want to internalize Mazavian socioeconomics? None of these really excite me. Oh, this one only takes 15 minutes, though. This is the one about the boxer that we brought up before. It's -1 to a bunch of the stats that we like, but it's only for 15 in-game minutes, so it might be fine. Maybe we'll do this. I'm curious what this will be. The Litany of Contact Mike. It's time once again to return to the 20 things you like to say about Contact Mike, the boxer who is apparently a paragon of open competition. It really doesn't get any better than this. Any better. Both inside and outside the ring. Stop. Point at someone in the distance. Point your finger at him. He will point his finger back at you, vaulting an impassable gulf of finance and privilege to... Who can say? But we're going to find out. Okay. Let's go talk to Joyce. We are waiting for her... She was going to tell us more about the murder victim, if we could prove our authority to her either via finding our police badge, which we did, or solving a drug smuggling ring investigation. We've done a lot of poking around, haven't got too far with that though, so... But now that we found our badge, let's see what she has to say. She also gives us a ton of lore dumps on, like, the state of this world. So we learned a lot about this world from her.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
I found my badge, by the way. By love, you did. She inspects the piece of blue plastic, her eyes scanning from left to right. Fast, observantly, like an electronic printer. She hands it back to you. Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Fritor Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. The situation is precarious. Seaweed drips from the badge in your hand. It smells of fish. What can I help you with? Glad you like the tea. I'm off to help the bearded bee move some furniture. Or something that needs my truck anyway. Have a great stream. Joel, have a great day. Be careful moving stuff. I hate moving stuff, but you're the man with the truck, so I assume you know what you're doing. So it's good to see you, and hope to see you again soon. Take another sip in Joel's honor. Okay. Well, how about you share your information on the lynching now that you've seen my badge? The goalposts have moved, Lieutenant. In the absence of the badge, I've informed my employer there will be a probe. I cannot rescind that promise. To my knowledge, the drivers are still at the roundabout. I will tell you everything I know when you've finished with them. All right, so we still have to finish this probe into the drug smuggling. Let's get a lore dump while we're here. Oh wow, okay. Let's do this skill check here. We've got a very high chance of passing it. So what is reach for something fundamental? What is all of this? The scent, the sound, the air. What world is this? What world, she says? The fading pearls of her eyes looked to the sea. The only one, I suppose, the world of matter and its pale antipode. Of bodies of water and forest-covered surfaces, clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage, we all have. This world is enough, she concludes. There's a term of endearment they coined for it. In the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included... What is it? What's this term of endearment? Elysium. Ah. So we can respond with Elysium, the world needs a term of endearment, or the world does not deserve a term of endearment. I'm going to put it up to a vote to y'all. I'm not really sure. Did I have a strong opinion on it one way or the other? But I like that we've learned that the name of this world, colloquially anyway, is Elysium. I'm not really too familiar with what that is in Greek mythology or whatever. I think that's from Greek mythology, right? But I always like the word itself. Does not? Okay, all right. We'll go with that. The world does not deserve a term of endearment. There are those who would call it hell. Well, what is hell? A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the meth patro-fascists. Well, I don't feel like I've got the whole picture yet. Oh, you want a picture of the world? She raises her finger to her lips. There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit. Well, how come? Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside. Sideways. Inside sideways, what shape is this world then? We used to think it was a sphere, but that is beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s. Yeah, I'm curious what she's going to say here. ORG, Occident Revichalgrad. There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three scientific contributors, they're piecing together a dark gray corona. A dark gray corona. Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are gray flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago. Are we on like a broken planet? A cold fear seeps into you. What the hell are you telling me? You seem to be spooked. Please don't be. Her voice becomes homely, calm. She lets a moment pass. The pale? And what do you mean, corona? They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or to speak more plainly, imagine vast swaths of land disrupted by nothingness. This was the most interesting thing I've caught in this game yet. Yeah, I remember this stuff being very fascinating. It's just world building. Like, it doesn't even directly affect the plot, but it's just so compelling. It's just like, whoa, wait, what is happening in this universe? Like, it's very unique. I've never like read a book or seen a movie or anything that had something even approaching this. I'm sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here. Let's read this again. They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or to speak more plainly, imagine vast swaths of land disrupted by nothingness. What does that even mean? But, and this is one of the great questions of our time, maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, excuse me. A fractured corona doesn't feel like it's gonna bring anyone together. I kind of agree. Yeah, it is. It is metal. I agree. You may have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's... She looks up. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it. I don't know how to imagine what she's talking about. I'm thoroughly intrigued. I just have no idea what it means. Well, if you say it's disco... See, everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world. However wasted its opportunities. Okay, what is pale? What is pale? The pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality. It's the opposite of reality. Okay. But what is it? Okay, she concedes. The pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, detective. The separative tissue between the isolas. It is the interstellary mass. Okay, and what's an isola? I've been assuming that isola is like continents or something, but I guess we're going to find out for sure here. Isola is a Messenian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there's only one. In the last 4 centuries, we've discovered 7. Mundi, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde. Yeah, so I'm interpreting this so far as there are, let's just call them continents, surrounded by water. And that is surrounded by nothingness. But there are multiple continents spread amongst the nothingness. And they've been discovering more of these continents in the last 400 years, apparently. Okay, and Insulinde is an oceanic isola and comprises mostly of water. Mundi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear. Okay, what is the pale like? Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness. That's terrifying. Like, imagine if your planet is just being consumed by nothingness very slowly. Is it here? Look around. No, detective, we're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the Isola. This is purgatory? That's an interesting question. Like, I'm not seeing anything that counteracts that claim, you know? Point north, there. An uproar of matter, darling, rising into the pale, rolling, evaporating even, a great vision. The area of transition between the world and the pale is called porch collapse. Imagine a gray coronal mist, cold vapor marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism, a mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of unrest. It's... She closes her eyes and breathes out heavily. The most disco thing you will ever see. I'm low-key impressed by the Twitch integration features. Yeah, they're pretty good. You know, we've had the most fun with the dialogue choice voting. Apparently, you guys can also tweak my stats, but the one time I tried this, I just got a countdown. I don't even know what you guys see when I do that. So, and then, yeah, you can see my task list, my character sheet. It's pretty good. I'm impressed by it, too. Okay, what are the physical qualities of pale? It's difficult to describe or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic. The stat thing is mobile, by the way. Meaning you see it in the mobile app? Because I was under the impression this was desktop only. So that would be pretty cool if you can at least see that on the mobile app. Oh god, this is terrifying. The further into Pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension, right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible. Okay, that's existentially terrifying. If we're surrounded by Pale, how do you get from Isola to Isola? Oh, it is... Her lungs deflate. Her words sound like a sigh. So difficult for us. A squall of birds. Hardware operating in the harbor. Firm. Self-evident. It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost, or having our minds damaged. Just a random thing I remembered. You wanted me to clip me munching on corn on my stream and said it didn't work on mobile. Turns out I just had clips disabled. Oh, interesting. I didn't know you could disable clips. Check your Discord PMs. Okay. All right. Oh. Wow, that looks way better than I would have even expected. Man, that looks really good, actually. But you don't get a prompt for like a vote, like a dialogue vote. Like I'll just do a vote right here. Like you don't get a prompt for that in the mobile app. Cause yeah, that's really slick. I mean, unless something changed, you know. Like you only get 15 seconds to do it, but well, I'm glad at least some of it works on mobile. Yeah, you got a prompt on desktop, right? But you don't get a prompt on mobile. It sounds like I'll do it again, just to make sure. So there should be a prompt to vote, right? So, you know, he was able to vote for this one. Yes, so it does work. Oh, I see your thing. Oh. Okay. All right, well, cool. Yeah, I just saw your message. Awesome. I'm amazed actually that works on mobile as well. So awesome. Congrats, everybody. We did it. It isn't there, is there? Isn't... Oh, right, you're right. It isn't there if there isn't a vote, of course, yeah. But yeah, when I do prompt it, it does come up, so... Cool. We did it, everybody. Congrats. Well, I'm glad we figured that out. I've just been assuming at this point that it was desktop only, so... Cool. All right, so... We're still learning about the Pale. We asked how you get from Isola to Isola, and I don't really feel like we got a clear answer on it, but okay. So the Pale can damage the mind. Extensively. Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter. Dragon Gem, welcome in. How are you doing today? We just tried a Lapsang Souchong tea, a smoky tea. It's amazing. I've never had anything like this before. I like that I can see your missions. Yeah, well, it's like if you guys wanted me to pursue one particular mission in particular, like you can look at what my options are and tell me what you want. So I think that's cool. Yeah, I think the Twitch integration is really good for this game in particular. Huckleberry black tea. Ooh, well, that sounds good. I'm going to write that one down. Make a note. I need to, like, not buy too many teas because I'll have more than I can possibly go through, you know, as one human being, but... I still like to have options, you know? Okay. Okay, damage stems from sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter. I have a tea cabinet, so I feel that, yeah. They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history, even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past. What does the HP thing on your overlay do? Are you talking about this little icon here on the right? Or is it something over here? Because I've seen that theoretically, at least, you guys can tweak my stats, my character stats, but I'm not entirely sure how that shows up or how it works. Your Twitch overlay. Oh, well. Because I've got the stream preview and the dashboard going, and I just see the task thing and the character sheet thing. 2150 out of 2500. Oh. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, so that's the stream boss thing. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right thing here. So if people sub or donate bits, that kind of thing, that takes HP away from the stream boss, and eventually whoever kills the stream boss becomes the new stream boss, and people will can do subs and bits and all that good stuff to try to take down the current stream boss. So that's what that is. I'm not even sure why it's at 2190 out of 2500. I didn't think anybody had contributed lately. Oh, actually, no. Somebody did sub last time. They did their Twitch sub, so that's probably what that was. So, yeah, if you want to be the stream boss, then you'll have to sub or donate bits, basically. No worries. I think it's cool, too. But apparently I completely forgot about it because I didn't know what you were talking about. and I have my stream preview in a very tiny window, so like I didn't even like see it really at first. So yeah, that's what that is. There you go. Okay. Did you guys ever read the story or see the movie of the Langoliers? It was a Stephen King story where people on an airplane kind of get stuck. You loved it. Right. Okay, so it's like they're on an airplane and they land and there's nobody in the world. It's like the world just emptied out. I don't remember if I saw all of the miniseries, but I did read the story, and in the story, what they ended up discovering or conjecturing, I guess, maybe, yeah, I don't think they discovered it per se, is that they got taken out of time and moved like 10 minutes back. But in this world, it's not like your typical time travel story where, you're just in a different timeline and you can interact with the world. The idea here was that there is only one timeline, and they got like a millisecond or 10 minutes even. They were moved back just a little bit, and there were like cosmic creatures coming to like eat reality. It's like they're cleaning up after time has moved on, and they somehow got stuck in this, and they got stuck out of time, and there were these monsters coming that like eat reality, and they had to somehow try to figure out how to get back to their own time. I don't remember what it involved or anything. It was a Stephen King short story, and I just loved that concept, that completely different idea of quote unquote time travel. Like, actually, when time passes, reality gets cleaned up by like these cosmic vacuum cleaners or something. I thought that was a great, like, the Langoliers, yes. There was like a network TV miniseries of it made, like, I don't know if it was the 90s or early 2000s, but Yeah, give that a watch if that sounds interesting to you. But this stuff with the Pale kind of reminds me of it. I don't know why exactly, but just, you know, this kind of emptiness, you know, between worlds and or continents, and you know, like numbers stop working when you're in the Pale. Like that's just, oh yeah, it has hilarious CGI, I'm sure. I mean, we're talking like early network TV miniseries. Like it's not good CGI, but like the concept is fantastic, in my opinion anyway. I don't know if I saw the whole miniseries, and I don't really remember it very well anyway, so I don't know how good it is, but the story at least is very good. So check it out if that sounds interesting to you. What does this over-radiation feel like? It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of Pale exposure per year. So you can only travel through the Pale from Isola to Isola 6 days out of the year. That's all you're allowed to do. It's more for her, way more. You're not a civilian passenger. No, Lieutenant Dubois, I'm entropinetic business class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of Pale transit annually. Can you imagine if, like, your business trips required you to, like, fly through existential nothingness as part of your journey? Like, and that's just, like, a normal part of your everyday? That sounds terrible. Warlock, take care, buddy. Thanks for hanging out today. It's always good to see you. Good luck with your work. Yeah, actually, you can't imagine that? I don't know if I could imagine that. I've never been in like a sensory deprivation tank. So maybe if I did that, I could better imagine it, but... So do the lorry drivers pass through the Pale? That's a good question. Yes, carried in the hulls of airships. It's a horrific job. Automation will abolish it soon. I was thinking about how much shit being an air marshal job would be. Yeah, I mean, really any like airline job I would not want to do. I don't think the perks of traveling would be worth it to me. You should ask the Pale driver about this, see what she says. Right, we did speak to a very interesting woman who seems to hop between worlds in her mind. She might have something to say about this. Are you over-radiated? Up to my gills, officer. Okay, Havoc, sounds good. Let me know if there's anything that you think sounds interesting to me. I was definitely, like, looking at the E3 schedule today, being like, oh, right, I'm streaming today. Shoot. But yeah, have fun. And I will be here until somewhere between 11 and 12, so I'll be here for a while. So what is entropinetic? Entroponetics, she corrects, is the scientific study of the Pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of Grodd. The study of the Pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Paracarnassians called it the Western Plain. Wow, so this nothingness has been around for millennia. Interesting. They had not traveled the entire circumference of the Paracarnassian Super Isola. It was not merely in the west, it was everywhere, even then, surrounding them. Did they cross it, the Western Plain? There are signs of preter-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years. Okay, what does entroponetics change then? Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later. Aerostatic craft? So this must be an airship? Yes. Hybrid airships, detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended. Once you cross from near Pale to far Pale. In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely. Okay, and if we don't throw them precisely? then they don't come out. Gone, like a skipping stone beneath the surface. Wow. So it's like the Pale is more than just like a physical region, you know, where if you just keep going, you'll get out. It's almost like another dimension or something. I mean, it's like, you know, the Bermuda Triangle kind of thing. You know, combined with like hyperspace in Star Wars, you know, as long as your calculations are correct, you're going to get where you're going. But if not, you might not. So how much Pale is there compared to the world? The Pale outweighs reality 2-to-1. There is more Pale than there is matter. And the ratio is slipping. Slipping how? To our detriment? Or what do you think, detective? She looks you in the eye. Yeah, it's growing. There's more and more of the Pale. Holy crap. Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the Pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate. An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the Pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists. No, I mean, I feel like there's nothing extreme about that. Like, the nothingness is encroaching on all of this world, and it's just gonna... Soon there's gonna be nothing, right? Right? Yeah, it's not extreme at all. I know it's going to happen. Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same. Well, it doesn't look like you're doing the same. The suggestion was meant in earnest, detective. Live life. Let's return to reality, please. Yes, sweet reality. She stomps her foot. But before we do, tell me, detective. Is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything? I'm getting a sense of who I am, but no, I didn't know this. We are slowly learning more about our past and stuff, and I feel like we're getting an idea, you know. But yeah, we definitely don't have a full picture or anything like that. Beyond curious, what do you think of the Pale? It's terrifying. I'm just gonna be honest. That's terrifying. Mm-hmm. Her eyes tense. Crow's feet radiate from them. She observes you, your bloodshot eyes and swollen face. You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, detective. If you don't know even this, then... She stops mid-sentence. I don't know. What do y'all think? If any of y'all are watching, we can choose. I'll handle it. It's under control. We'll say, this investigation will be my masterpiece, the one they remember me by, I promise. We can say, I'm in serious trouble here. Or we can say, it'll be a fucking disaster, I know it. All those people will die. Let me know what you want, chat. And I will follow your heart instead of mine. I think I'm going to take an optimistic tack here and say, I'll handle it. It's under control. I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him, and he is very competent. In the meanwhile, you have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time. She gives you a slight bow. So we had apparently we had a secret task to talk to Joyce about the Pale without Kim. That's interesting. I wonder if Kim had been with us, if he would have like tried to not have that conversation because he thought maybe we couldn't handle it or it terrified him. I don't know. That's really interesting to me. Okay. Well, And that's enough lore dumps for now. And we completed our
the litany of contact Mike.
We completed this thought.
5,000 to 1 rank outsider. No one saw it coming. The mantle of the game changer demands intangible qualities. Fights are not won. You're thinking instead of doing detective work right now. Fights are made, blow by blow. Let's take it, Mike to the Mikey. Some low-intensity part of you has entered a sports cliché-driven fugue state, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. Also, Mike knew what it took to win. He just wanted it more.
Okay, all physique white checks are unlocked. Well, I don't think that we have very many, but okay. All right. We can investigate a bunch of stuff on the western side of the map. Oh, we could pick up dice from the dice maker. Okay. We have so many things we need to do, apparently. All right, let's go talk to the dice maker. I don't know. I don't know what we can do with these dice, but you know, it's a task, so we must perform it. Is what I'm thinking anyway. What a cool mood here. This kind of late evening vibe here going on. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, we need to go up here. And enter this door here. Oh, right. We also were looking... Something is hidden in this ice cream machine. We discovered this after we turned off the machine, so at the time we turned it off, we couldn't really do anything with it, but now we can interact with it. So we're going to do that real quick. This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut. Let's turn the ice cream crank. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping. Let's try to crack it open. You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold to get a good grip. A pry bar would come in handy here. No, this is going to need something else. Some kind of super pry bar. Don't even try to open it with a regular pry bar. You're just wasting your time. Oh. If you want to try again, you need to have the pry bar in your hand. Okay. I mean, we're going to try it again. Definitely going to try it again. Get our bag equipped as well. Pry bar not strong enough. Interesting. Okay. Well, I feel like there's no point in trying. Okay. Well, wait. What did we just turn off? Oh, the machine's unplugged, so now it will be a little easier, but still not enough to make a difference. So, okay, let's actually let's equip our flashlight because that is more useful here. There we go. So we're trying to get back to the dice maker's little room area. I think we wanted to get up here. Yeah. Right. Here she is. Yep, we found her. Great. Hello.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
Yes, I came to pick up my die. Very good. That'll be 7 real for 1 custom die. Okay, great. We have money. We can do it. We gained a cursed Ilmarin die. Here's the cursed die you ordered. The dice maker opens her desk drawer and hands you a tiny black sphere with 6 phrases written on it. Let's read the phrases. The phrases read, God is indifferent, take all, lose all, 50-50, nothing happens, and pale. So we got a sphere instead of like a sided dice. What is this? It's a die, confirms the dice maker with a subtle smile on her face. Try rolling it. All right, let's cast the cursed die. You throw the ball on the floor, and it ends with one of the phrases facing upwards. God is indifferent. She looks at the result. Good, now roll again, detective. Okay. It lands on exactly the same result. God is indifferent, it declares again. It's a sphere pretending to be a 6-sided die. Each roll will end with one of the phrases facing up. The die originates in Ilmara, where it was used for claromancy. I don't know what claromancy is, but it sounds awesome. Except I've weighted the die. When you try rolling it, you realize that each time it gets you exactly the same result. God is indifferent. This is our curse. Oh, man. It's even worse than she says. God is dead. We live in a forsaken age. You're saying that the end result doesn't matter. In the face of death, no, not really. What a relief. It is, isn't it? There's something liberating about knowing it's just we humans. No all-powerful forces guiding us, watching us, judging us. I'll keep that in mind, thanks. Good luck, officer, she says with a mischievous smile, before turning back to her table. We have a somewhat higher chance of asking her why her business hasn't failed. Do we have any gear that boosts our shivers stat? Oh, and this is an item. Oh, that's cool looking. Look at the map tab to see which white checks have opened. Oh, okay. Okay. But what about our shivers stat? Do we have anything for that? I don't recall anything off the top of my head. Yeah, that... Oh, this is +1 shivers. All right. Let's put that on. I feel like this game needs, like, gear sets or something for when you're futzing around with your inventory.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
28% chance. I guess we'll try it. Nope. You feel nothing. If anything, it's uncomfortably warm in here. Let's leave it at that. Okay. All right, fair enough. Let's put this back on. Okay, well, that task is complete. Okay. So is there anything we can do on this side of town? We'll take a look at our task list here. You know, it's the evening. We could just go to sleep here in a few minutes. I think all we need to do would be to read a book, you know? To pass the time. That might be the more efficient thing to do, honestly. Yeah, you can sleep after 2100 and it's like 2053 right now. Maybe we'll do that. Let's just sleep. We need to pass time first, but yeah, let's... Can we do that here? All right, we did it. We did it. Okay. Wow, so someone's been a little boring. What? Yes, my standard liege. Someone's seen all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, I'll take the boring one. The regular, please. The brown. Look, I'm just trying to do my job. No need for extravagance. Of course you do. Let's get right to it. My lord's capo type is regular cop. I'll let everyone know. I'll send out a telefax. Wait, why will this be my capo type now? I thought I was like superstar cop and art cop. Now you're saying I'm regular cop? Yes, the type of cop you are, sire. Think of it as a caste, a class even, a nation of regular law officials that you belong to. It comes, of course, with the usual benefits. Stat boost. No, I'm not very regular. I've been pretty apocalyptic, to be perfectly honest, so. Okay. And once again, oh, now we can fast travel. Okay. All right. Well, let's go to the shacks, because that's where our sleeping place is. I don't know why that wasn't available to us before, but okay. So we're getting to day 4 of the game. There aren't a whole lot of days left. I forget exactly how many there are, but, you know, less than 10 for sure. Let's try to stop the grotesque expression on our face. Electrochemistry. Can we boost that stat at all? Possibly. Possibly. Electrochemistry. Okay, yep. That's good. This is electrochemistry. Great. That might be all. This is also electrochemistry. Let's go with the silk robe, just because. Okay, I think that's it. Interfacing. The pockets of these new jeans are perfect for sticking your hands into. I guess I haven't worn these jeans before. As your hand enters the pocket, your fingers brush against something. Soft, yet crinkly. Hey, it's a chewing gum wrapper. It reminds you of the fruity juice of apricots. You should inspect it closer if you have time. Something about the wrapper's texture is familiar. Okay. By the way, the raw materials were most likely exported from Saigé, the apricot suzerainty, and processed in Sur La Clef into the apricot-flavored chewing gum loved by kids of today and yesterday. Something about it is familiar, and not only to your fingers. I mean, I guess let's take a look. A gleaming chewing gum wrapper found in the pocket of the laborer jeans. It gives off an ever so faint scent of apricots. Your mouth starts watering. There it is again. The scent of apricots with a touch of cinnamon. Smells like the end of some distant summer. The surface of another planet or some ancient temple. Ancient temple? Yes, from the height of antiquity, a long, long time ago. Millennia ago. On an island of time you can never return to. This is a pretty intense gum wrapper. The sun sets into the sea, but the water does not boil. Instead, it turns to liquid gold. For a moment, the world's store of precious metals seems to increase dramatically, and you are rich. There's a movement next to you, the shuffle of a small coat. Warm, like the evening, but when you turn towards it, there's nothing there. Where did it go? Why are you talking to a gum wrapper? Let's take a deep, deep breath of that apricot. Bitter, citrus, sweet. It seems to grow stronger, like a glow, with every breath you take. Whatever petrochemical byproducts they use to create this artificial flavor have bonded tightly to the wrapper. Or is that just your memory, filling in the gaps? Until a blossom of skin and flower petals erupts behind your closed eyes, made of toffee, cream, and distance. You just had to take a dive. So we got a new thought. Apricot chewing gum scented one. You've found a trace of entity who's been stalking you across the plains. The Gloom Stalker, the conglomeration, the shadowy organization behind your downfall, possibly connected to the dreaded X something. Granted, it is impossible to determine its true identity, but you can remember where you first smelled its treachery. Yes, use the Tutti Frutti gum wrapper. Reconstruct the day you first breathed in her untrustworthy atoms. Okay, so if we internalize this thought, it sounds like we would learn maybe a little more about our ex-lover, wife, girlfriend, something we don't really know. We can probably get rid of this one immediately and just start thinking about this one, but we need to level up before we can do that. So very interesting. Anyway, let's try to get this expression off of our face. 83%. I mean, that's pretty good. It's like something snaps in you, a nerve ending, a thought, a sadness. Your face in the mirror is suddenly clean of the leer that had distorted it for God knows how long. Just like that, it's over. The running gag that your life had become. A sad old man looks back at you. So now, yeah, the look on our face has changed in the character panel, if y'all can see it. That's crazy. That's really interesting. All right. Time for bed. Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only takes you moments for the world to fall away.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street. Recorded in you forever on Faraday.
I don't know what any of this means, I'll be honest. Spinning in eternity?
On and on it goes, for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising, above the dark curvature, the great wingspan of sleep, studded with stars. Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time, the last time, the smoke in her mouth, the plotted flowers, the faces turning, changing.
So we're remembering a disco place, I guess.
It's the world, Harry boy. And you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now.
Okay.
You can never forget this shit.
The rain, the snow. I don't want to. It's beautiful.
Beautiful. It's stuck on loop. Whirling, spitting out words and images. You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes.
I have been picking up a lot of postcards, and we picked up the bubblegum wrapper, and the game knows it. It's tracking it, and it's telling us this, and telling us apparently that it's meaningless, but, you know, whatever.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
That's right, I am an agent of the world.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
It's getting hot in here. Let's roll these up, shall we? For the working class.
Solving your little crossword puzzles, doing your tasks, crossing names off lists, trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
I'm building communism for all. This time we won't fail. There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry. He still doesn't see that it's the world that's changing him.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
Why?
'Cause only love can break your heart.
So creepy. Feel the pillow under your cheek.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
Yikes. You can do it. It's nothing. Do it for the city. Go. Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation at a time. Right. On to the new day. So we're all healed up. We have a thought. Rise and shine, comrade. It's time to get to work. What's going on? Despite all the thinking you've been doing, only 0.0001% of communism has been built. It's too great a task to undertake alone. You're going to have to get organized. I thought the shack was nice and cozy as is. Your level of personal upkeep is irrelevant. All that matters is your commitment to building the world republic. You must seek out your revolutionary brothers and sisters. Find out how much communism they built. Then, together, maybe you'll be able to build as much as 0.0002% of communism. But it won't be easy. Decades of persecution by coalition authorities have driven the remaining communists of Martinaise underground. But I'm part of the authorities. Have I been persecuting communists this whole time? Possibly. If you have been, it's only because you're a double agent, acting in furtherance of your long-term objectives. Listen to this. Do you really think you're the kind of person an underground communist cell would entrust with a mission that requires such discretion? Maybe. Regardless, what's past is past. You need to look forward to the work of building communism for all. Will they help me fire up Mazov's socialist sausage grinder? Just between us, you may want to lay off this grind up the bourgeoisie stuff. It's a bit off-putting even to fellow communists. Well, how am I supposed to find them if they're hiding? Let your nose guide you, detective. My nose? Yes. Fortunately, communists are known to have a very distinct smell. Oh my god. We really have no idea what they're talking about. There's no linkage between ideology and olfaction. Well, what does communism smell like? Failure. Oof. Okay. There's so much failure in my life already. I don't know if I can take any more. That's why you're perfect for the job. No one's got a better nose for failure than you, Harry. Okay. What you're smelling is your own body odor, of course. Nothing a shower and change of clothes couldn't fix. People sometimes complain there are no real communists left in Martinaise, but you can smell their presence. They're out there, waiting for you to join them. Incidentally, during the waning days of the Anticentennial Revolution, a number of Revacholian communards constructed elaborate hideouts in abandoned root cellars, hollowed out tree trunks, and even residential sewage tanks. This latter phenomenon gave rise to the early anti-communist slogan, "The future's bright when you flush out the white." Okay. I'm ready. Let's get organized. First, you'll have to locate the remaining communists in Martinez. When you get near to someone with revolutionary potential, your nose will give you the signal to establish contact. Okay. However, our smell persona says, no, it won't. Any olfactory response you perceive will be strictly psychosomatic. Okay, good to know. Judging from the bust of Krasmazov and other revolutionary paraphernalia you discovered, it seems that the Cape Side apartments may be a hotbed of communist activity. Okay. Well, what will I do once I establish contact? You'll discuss the monumental world historical task that lies before you. You'll engage in rigorous and spirited debates about Mazovian theory and practice, but mostly you'll probably complain about other communists. Yeah, that sounds about right. Isn't that last part kind of counterproductive? Not at all. Complaining about other communists is one of the most important parts of being a communist. Let's do it, comrades. Here we go. Wake, brave worker, 'tis no time for bed. Fight till there's no slaves below and no masters o'erhead. All right, so that's something we're going to be doing, I guess. We don't need this flashlight for now. Let's head out. I think Kim should be back. Hey, Kim, how you doing? Good morning. Hold still a second. Try to smell Kim. Are you a communist, Kim? The lieutenant's posture becomes rigid and uncomfortable as you lean forward and sniff the area just above his shoulder blade. The lieutenant is fastidious as a cat in matters of his personal upkeep, and yet, in the folds of his jacket, you can just perceive the stale and acrid traces of oil rags, transmission fluid, and brake pads. Wait, there's something else there. Something that sets your GABA receptors aflutter. The lieutenant's aftershave, a common drugstore brand. Strong hints of pine needle. But what sort of ideological picture do these smells paint? It's tough to say. Do you need something, detective? I was just wondering what brand of aftershave you use. It's nothing fancy, just plain old Taiga Super Special. Are you thinking of, you know? He gestures towards his cheeks with an invisible razor. Gosh, I don't know. Do you think I should? The lieutenant considers your mutton chops for a long moment. A slight grimace crosses his face. Sorry, I'm really no expert on this sort of thing. Ah, come on, Kim. Okay, I guess we're done here. All right, let's put on our smart person outfit again. I think we want this. We want this. I think that might have been it. Sure. Oh, +2 encyclopedia. Well, that's fine. Okay, I think we're fine with this. Keep hitting the wrong buttons here. Actually, get yourself organized. Roam the streets to sniff out comrades. Okay. Let's spend some time on this side of the map. We're gonna inspect traps for the cryptozoologist, so let's go ahead and do that. We'll run over here, I think. And I don't think we've actually explored the whole map yet, so we'll keep an eye out for places we haven't been yet. Okay, here's one of the traps. There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Same mesh, same wiring. The reeds bend forlornly toward the sand. You see slabs of concrete north. In the east, the city center hums to you. The constant, distant song. Louder on this part of the coast. Nearer, somehow. And there's that cold again. Always the cold. Locusts are crawling around in the trap. Confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them. Big surprise, the lieutenant grins mirthlessly. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go. I was hoping this would be in the first one, the phasmid we're looking for. No, you weren't. He looks at the sea, then you, laying the trap back down on the ground. Okay. Oh, here's something we can open, I guess. Oh, Jamrock Biker Cup Sunnies. Interesting. More empathy, less logic. Okay, no interesting thoughts coming from those, though. So, okay. Let's keep exploring. Oh, autosave, interesting. Have we been down here? I want to say yes. I want to say yes. Perhaps I should not have come in here, since now we have to go all the way around. This hat we're wearing is just hilarious. We can ask her on a date later once we find a place that's appropriate. All right, weren't we gonna give one of the drunks a beer? Oh, they're not here yet. It's probably too early in the day. Okay, that's fine. I think over here is the tent with the ravers. Oh, what do we have here? We actually have a whole bunch of stuff here. Oh, this is the church. Okay. Well, all right. What is this? Money? Money? Why is there so much money in here? Drugs? Money? I don't get why there's so much money just laying around in these posts. So much money. There's something over here, too. More money? Yeah. Weird. I swear this wasn't here before. Interesting. All right, this is the church we were going to investigate. We came here and talked on the phone before, so we don't need to do that. I think, well, let's see what else. Let's see what's on the outside here. Sign reads St. Brune, 1147. Dusty pews in the shadows. Many seem to be missing. More random money. An altar shrouded in dark. Or something like that. It's too dark to tell. I don't want to go in just yet. I want to keep exploring the map here. Since we have not been here up to this point, as far as I know anyway. There's something up here. More money. Just so much money laying around. Oh, this is interesting. It's like a big bunker. These rusted gears used to turn the whole machine. The building before you housed the engine. Must have been a big one. Chain trails off into the ocean to who knows where. This barrel has been recently discarded. It still smells of fuel oil. All right, so what's this door? An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You can see the handle. What is this thing anyway? It's military, a service depot of some sort. Used to service what? The washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast. The lieutenant looks at the hunching concrete toad in front of him. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay. This might be it. It may have been used to service an aerostatic battleship in the atmosphere, or a fortification like a sea fort in the bay. Wow, we have a very low chance of opening this door, and you cannot retry it if you fail. So we're not going to do that just yet. Our interfacing skill is okay, but it's not great. And if it's you know, Babs, hey, how you doing? Welcome in. We tried some Lapsang Shushang tea today. It was delicious. It was amazing. I love it. And we are continuing to explore this area. I saw you stream the other day. I missed it, but I hope I can catch another one soon. Have you been streaming for a while and I just missed it, or are you starting out on that? Just finished a babysitting shift, so better now. And yeah, I believe it. Congrats on getting through. Oh, we have a shirt and money. You're just starting. Awesome. Well, I followed you, and I will try to catch you next time you do. I find it really addicting. Like, the more I've done it, the more I want to keep doing it. So maybe look forward to that happening. All right, we have one of our traps here. Is our Insulindian Phasmid in this one? Past week was just testing, so definitely stop in by sometime, as I was actually getting a schedule down. Okay, cool. Yeah. I will keep my eyes open, and now that I'm following, I should get notified when you go live. So I will look forward to it. Let's look around this trap. The reeds sway in the coastal breeze. They seem to be waiting for something. The wind picks up here, near the cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year. This trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any cryptozoological beast inside. Another empty trap. The lieutenant takes a note, more out of habit than duty. How are you enjoying the cardio, Lieutenant? I'm quite enjoying it myself. Always up for a good jog. Otherwise, would I still be on this case with you? He smiles and raises his collar. It's windy. Good to know. What do we have up here? Cigarette butts cleaned away under a rock. Brand. Tio Mutiri. I'm sure I said that incorrectly. Someone's made a campfire here a long time ago. What do we have here? A rusted, broken control box for the radio relay tower. This ladder is too rusty to climb. The sea air has eaten away at it. Robin, welcome in. Happy Sunday. How's your day going? It's nice to see you. We tried a smoky tea for the first time. It was amazing. And we're continuing to explore the map here in Disco Elysium. Oh, we found a new tie. Ooh. +1 to shivers. What are we wearing right now? We're wearing a bow tie. +2 drama. I think I want to actually wear the new bow tie for a little while. Shivers is like your... Well, let's just go read the description. If we can find it. Shivers. Raise the hair on your neck. Tune in to the city. This is a very fun one. I kind of leaned into this in my last playthrough. You get some good, weird stuff out of it. I didn't really put any points into it because I was trying something new this playthrough, but still, it's a good one. Scented of what? Yeah, so... Wait, what are you referring to? I might have missed what you're reacting to. Doing pretty good, sipping on some coffee, a smoky tea. I don't know that I've ever heard of one like that. How would you describe it? So, this will not sound good, but it is. It's like having a campfire or like mesquite in your mouth, but it's good. I promise. I liked it. I was very skeptical, but I actually really enjoyed it. It's like drinking a campfire. And I was delighted, actually. Oh, the scarf you found. Yeah. the tie, was it? Oh gosh, I can't. Yeah, I've lost everything apparently. But yeah, it's a Lapsang Souchong tea. I never heard of it before, but a guy in chat here recommended it to me, and it took a while to arrive, but it did finally, and it's quite good. It's quite good. Smell is half of taste. Yes, fully agreed. And like, the smell is very strong. I mean, even where we have the box downstairs, like, you'll be walking by and you'll just get a whiff of like smoke. But the taste is, it's distinctive, but it's not like overwhelming in my opinion anyway. I steeped it for like 4 minutes. And we didn't add any milk or sugar to it. Next time I try a cup, I'm going to add that to see what I think of it, but I actually liked it quite a bit on its own. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what I think of that version, but I'm glad I tried it. I feel like a whole new world has opened up to me. What do we have here? Oh, I double-clicked that too quickly, so we'll never know. We'll never know what that apparently said. We're still looking for like an armored helmet, I think, on the coast somewhere. Haven't found it yet. Let's keep poking around. Starfield news now. Oh, really? So the Microsoft thing just started, right? So are they opening with a new trailer? Does that mean it's coming out this year? Ooh. Oh, man. I can't wait to see that. Because Bethesda doesn't announce games until they're ready to release them. I was hoping we would get a release this year, but I actually wasn't expecting it to be. Man, that might be my big game this year then. It'll be the Final Fantasy XIV expansion, Endwalker, and it'll be Starfield. Todd Howard open for MS. Yeah, that's a statement of confidence right there. All right, let's go into this. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, let's go into this church, but heavy wooden doors more than twice your height stand in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock carelessly drilled into the wood. Oh, right, we have a key, so let's open it. The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open. Let's go, the lieutenant nods at you. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum. In the heart of the city. It's ominous. Oh, that's beautiful. Interesting soundtrack. Grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. This figure was added later. It's not part of the original church. 11/11/22. Wow. 22. I mean, that's what I would have expected. I'm just surprised that they're actually talking about it this early. Like in the past, they're always like, we don't announce game release dates until like it's ready, you know? But what that means is I know exactly when to start my countdown for Elder Scrolls 6 next, you know? It was not so subtle in the ship's computer. Okay. Interesting. More of the forked lightning pattern you saw outside. Did we see a forked lightning pattern? I don't remember it. Some long forgotten style. Okay. This music is creepy. Xbox exclusive. Yeah. Unfortunate, but unsurprising as well. I assume it'll be on PC, of course, but still. The blackboard is filled with complex equations. They look recent. Something to do with radio frequencies? So, the drug dealers we talked to locked people into this church for like a week, so I hope nobody died here. The bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it. Could these wires work as contact microphones? I have no idea. Two decks of reel-to-reel tapes spinning on empty. A portable Harman Wowshy tape recorder. Is it possible it's recording something? Someone's siphoning electrical current from outside into this antenna. And we have a giant smashed window here. In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced, and sad, a dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Stalker 2, wow. I half expected that one to be canceled at this point. It's been so long since they announced it. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel. All right, chat, do we kneel or not before Dolores Day here? I'm going to put it up for a vote. I have zero context for who this person is and or why I would kneel in front of her. But we're in a church, so I guess it would be polite to do so. Okay, we'll kneel. Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands from beyond the glass. Close your eyes first. The world is silent, but for the creaks and cracks of the massive wooden structure behind you. It covers you from the wind outside. The ocean feels distant, its ebb and flow blocked off by the centuries-old pinewood sarcophagus around you. The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There's a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye. Of what? Compassion? Remorse? Oh, we leveled up. She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. Oh. What do we think is... What is the glint in her eyes, chat? Is it compassion? Is it remorse? Is it mourning? Or is it, it's not possible to live? I have no idea, personally. What kind of goddess do we think this is? I assume? Or she's like a messiah in this world? I don't know. It's compassion. Okay. As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder. Let's do the same as we get up. Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass. So, this is interesting. The apricot-colored light of the window. Whoever our X is in the past, our character here associates them with apricot. Like the smell. I'm sure that's not a coincidence here. Okay, this is Dolores Day. The old woman in the village was right. Kim looks around. This must be the Dolorian Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the small Pinewood Church in some records. You knew of the place? It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. He lowers his voice. It was built not long after Revachal's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers. On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before, in the wild reeds. What else do you know, Kim? There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they called them, the 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the Revolution or used for building materials. Oh, so we're in the last of the 7 sisters. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps. He looks at the machinery lying around. Respectful? Is Lieutenant a follower of DeLoreanism? Kim, are you a follower? Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are DeLorean in origin. Oh, so are we in like a theocracy, actually? Or kind of a, maybe a I don't know what you would call it, like a secular government, but kind of guided by these laws? Stroke our chin first. The woman looks by in silence, smiling enigmatically. I didn't think you were spiritual, Kim. It's not spiritual. It's constitutional. The DeLorean system does not demand faith, only accordance. Oof. That's kind of scary, but maybe good. I don't know. Havoc saying, "Oh my God." Stalker 2 looks incredible. Oh man. All right, I can't wait to watch all these trailers after this. How did I know that this is the mother of humanism? Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her innocence Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. Your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men. What exactly is an innocence? I've heard of the system. The highest category of historic individual, an embodiment of the world's spirit. Was she a ruler? More. And is an innocence, oh, this is a title. An innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built to accommodate innocentic rule, should it coincide with our time. So, what if Jesus came back multiple times over history, is what we're saying here? Came back and took over for a bit and then died, and then came back centuries later? Beyond expectations. Well, that's exciting. I hope it's polished, because I know that other games, you had to get fan patches and stuff and mods to get them up to speed, from what I heard. But they always sounded so fascinating, like so open and just like let the player do what they want. And I only tried the first one briefly years and years ago, and I just never got around to the other ones. But I do hope the new one is awesome. Is it the original devs making Stalker 2, or is it somebody else? Oh, a light came on. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions, they are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway, only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. An innocence is a continuous compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office. Wow. Okay. Is one in office now? No. We are alone. All right. When did she rule? 300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers from the continent of Mundi, she is, among other things, the innocence of interstellar travel in the connected world. So this city was founded about 300 years ago, right? So they're saying she was the one who kind of figured out travel through the Pale? Is that what we're saying here? What else do I know about her? Many things. She was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene la Navigator, Queen of Ceresny, modern-day Sur-le-Clef. Also, that she was gorgeous beyond beauty. What else? Was she smart? terribly. Women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A similar grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman. She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court, a court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state. A scalpel, a piercing gaze. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared an innocence, her influence was tremendous. Oh, so she didn't come out of nowhere and was just declared the Messiah. She was a big deal before that. How come? It was on her advice that Irene La Navigator sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale, a costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history, the DeLorean era. Wow. Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion that her lungs started glowing in her chest. Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress. That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Real Belt. Interesting. Okay. I want more. As did we all. The lands of Methk and the Occident, and even faraway Supramundi, altogether 21 of the 40 mondial nations of the time, immediately accepted Innocentic rule, even before her crowning. Her crowning? In a city called Advesperasit in Vesper Messina, her homeland. The name of the city means evening comes, but it happened on a winter's morning with the canals frozen and slush falling out of the sky. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied-out plaza, with the crowd far away. Already, her terriers, the Secret Service men of the Innocents, were worried about an assassination attempt. She must have been beautiful. Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother. Insultingly beautiful. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of underfeathers. You know this well, very well. Do I? It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of underfeathers. I don't I think I know what they're saying there, but that's a little hard to imagine, but okay. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her terriers placed a white gold wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by Secret Service men. Could you have been there, right? We have this ex-girlfriend, ex-lover, something in our past. It's hard to imagine our disaster cop being with this apparently amazing person, but I don't know. So then what? One of the men in his Secret Service killed her 22 years later. A young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Day was not entirely human, but something else. What? Something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves, the man was reported to have screamed at the Innocents. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes, while on duty, he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10 minutes. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria and religious psychology. I mean, was she just like faking all of that? I'm really interested in this, but I don't know how much we're going to get. Was there something terrifying about her? Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But although she's often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day, constantly surrounded by her Theriers. She was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the Innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the meth state. And then there were the resettlement programs. Tell me what happened. The meth state tried to detach itself from Innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of the upstream Magritte were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity. Yikes! Suggesting those who fight against it are not part of humanity, of course. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb in icons such as this. She was also blonde, the blondest woman you've ever seen, with green eyes the color of the Pacific Mare Interregnum. Interregnum is a very good word, but it's a very scary word too. Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they think of her. This subtle terror is part of her iconography. Wow. Lieutenant, you've stood there for over 5 minutes. The lieutenant's calm voice echoes in the cold air of the church. What are you thinking of, if I may ask? What are we thinking, chat? We can say she's somehow connected to this case. We can say glowing lungs, that's fucked up. Nothing, just looking around. She's beautiful. She's not human. Or we can yell, war criminal. What do y'all think? I don't know. I'm tempted. I'm tempted to go for the war criminal one. Okay, we'll do that. We'll yell war criminal. I don't know about that. He takes his glasses off to clean them. It was a different time, a different war. Either way, this church, the coast in general, we shouldn't linger here. This isn't a good place to get lost in. We should conclude our business and move on. All right, let's, oh, interesting. The cursed die that we got boosts our chances here. Reconstruct the cracked glass. Okay. All right, Babs, good luck with the errands. Thanks for stopping by. All right, let's see what's going on with this glass here. A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you, a ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one, and a text, a leitmotif below them both. What a cool image. This is so neat. I would love to have this as a print, you know, like put on the wall, you know, back here or something. That would be really cool. All right, what shattered this mosaic? Unknown. A motor carriage? A gunshot? Someone falling into it? Or maybe just hooligans looking for something to break? Who is this older woman? The escutcheon on her throne says Irene the Navigator. Ah, okay. She's depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden Reichsapfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen her Innocence Day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret Servicemen, Theriers, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail. What does the motto say? Below both women, in luminous black letter, Après la vie morte, après la mort, la vie de nouveau. And then along the left side, Après le monde, le gris, après la gris, le monde de nouveau. After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. Oof. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, on human thinking. A tremendous sea change akin to finding life after death. So we learned that the pale is separating these like pockets of land in this world. So these people, as far as they knew, there was nothing beyond the pale. And then with Dolores Day here and Irene the Navigator, they discovered there was something beyond the pale. So I get why that would be such a complete reconfiguring of the world and people's view of it. Lieutenant, this used to say. He nods. This exaltation is common in DeLorean's sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however. Why? It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We're already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing. Well, what is the RCM motto now? Justice, union, prudence, and force. Cool. Ice cool, the lieutenant nods. The mother of humanism towers above you, a wax painting on a cracked pane of glass. Nothing has changed in her expression. Okay. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to do some stretches and, just take care of myself for the next little bit of time here. So I will be back in a few minutes, and I hope I will see you all there. All right, everybody, we're back. Had a quick stack, had a nice little stretch. Man, like, standing up and doing a big stretch after you've been sitting streaming for a couple hours is like my new favorite thing, I think. It's so good. It feels so good. Somerville looks awesome. Okay, I haven't heard of that. Is that like... So we're still in the Microsoft event, right? Who's making that? I suppose the Square Enix thing. Well, that's later today, isn't it? Okay. So we got to level up here. And I think we wanted to get rid of this thought. Right. And start thinking about the apricot scent, basically. So we're going to do that. Seems similar to Inside. I missed who made it. So is it like a side scroller then? Similar to Inside? That was such an interesting game. So this looks like the mainframe in the game developer's office that we found. It is. Okay. A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity. Another radio computer, says the lieutenant, stepping closer. And this time it's already turned on. He seems cautious around the machine. We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case. Right, but it looks just like the one we found earlier. It's also similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model. He inspects the machine's framework, careful not to touch anything. The one you saw earlier was the RAM Civic. This is the RAM Prefect. A model number, equipped with the Feld mainframe and a RAM-compatible interim printer. The RAM Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used RAM Civic model. Although mostly based on the same technology, the RAM Prefect is equipped with better noise attenuation circuits. Let me investigate. You see play and print buttons. A hatch connected is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. Excuse me. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says in black marker, log, February through March. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater. Okay. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good morning, Fortress Accident on Saint-Brun. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
We talked to her earlier, didn't we? It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area. Yvonne, it's me again. How are you? Good, thank you. It's not clear whether she recognizes your voice. Please repeat. Is this the personal log? I looked inside, but the tape on the filament just said log. Good. Please repeat the password. Oh no. Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer. All right, I don't know the password. I will register this login attempt. Yikes, that's ominous. All right, we're done here for now. Let's leave. So what else do we have around here? What is this? Can't really tell what these are. Oh, shoes? Money, okay. Oh, Meth Banger's Red Brogues. Oh, very nice. Reaction speed. Hey, her Innocence Dolores Day liked little figurines, right? Liked holding little men between her fingers? Yes. You had the Headless Fallen Rider figurine. You should give it to her. Win her back. What? Okay, right. We bought a figurine like a long time ago. Apparently we still have it. Win her back. What? Win who back? I can't win her back. She's a long dead historical figure. Don't be so pessimistic. Love doesn't die that easily. Oh. Okay, yes, this is a task of mine now. So very, very, very nifty. Nifty and mysterious. This is surely what the figurines are for. Is it, though? All right. So offer figurines to Dolores Day. You should offer her any and all you have one day if you meet her in person. What an odd task to give yourself, but here we are. Oh. Oh, okay. Halo multiplayer is going to be free. I'm more than impressed. I'm really surprised by that, honestly. So you'll pay for the campaign? Is that what it's going to be? Are they going for like a battle royale thing in terms of monetization? This is Diablo. Oh, is Diablo going to be an Xbox exclusive? You bet they'll have seasons and stuff. Okay, yeah. Everybody's doing seasons these days. That's true. Interesting. Also, Kezar, welcome in. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more Halo from the single player, but I haven't played much multiplayer. But it was always something that I kind of wanted to get more into. D2 Resurrection. Oh, this is the HD thing. Is that they're just showing off more info on it? The remaster, remake, whatever they're calling it. Frost has drawn flowers on the glass, obscuring the view. Figure drawn in frost on the window, depicting a deer. What do we have here? Are these clothing? Are these pants? Oh, it's a scarf. Meth Banger's silk scarf. So we found Meth Banger's shoes and a scarf. There's not a whole lot in here. I think we've explored everything, so... The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent. Xbox exclusive Win 10 PC. That really surprises me, honestly. I don't know what Blizzard has to gain from that. Does that mean they're going to sell it through the Windows, you know, their new store? In addition to Battle.net? Is there going to be crossplay between Xbox and PC? Like, I feel like if Sony keeps playing hardball with the crossplay stuff, that is an incentive to be an Xbox exclusive if Microsoft will pay for it. I mean, you know they're paying. That's interesting. That's interesting. As far as I know, all Windows 10 store games are on Steam now. Oh, that's true. That's true. Huh. It's gonna be an interesting few years with Microsoft, I think. I mean, they're still a company. They still want our money, but the moves they're making are at least interesting, for sure. A new Plague Tale game. Okay, cool. I figured there would be a new one. I still haven't played the first one, unfortunately, but I would like to. I feel like it would be a good one to stream here, I think. Wait, I think I still hear something. And then it's gone. Almost all of it, but for the faintest of hums. You like how it got completely silent there? It seems that sound here is detached from its source somehow, if not blotted out outright. Truly unusual. Sounds like the Pale. How do I know what the Pale sounds like? From recordings of the Far Pale. You've heard them. We all have. Ooh, that's spooky. You can hardly hear your own breathing. Let's yell as loud as we can. Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. Stomp your feet and clap your hands. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total somehow. Turn to Kim. What's happening? The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer. Can you hear anything? Not really, but it's extraordinary. I've never experienced anything like this. I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics. Maybe the church was designed in this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing on its premises? What if it's something paranatural? Please, detective, not this again. Okay. Look up into the bell tower. Oh. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead. 72% chance. That's not bad. We can't retry it, though. What if I don't want to know what's up there? The silence, the darkness, they've enveloped you, as in a cocoon. You cannot move anymore. Relax, it'll be okay. Ah, okay. Let's try it. Try to see beyond the shadows. Okay, we did it. What's happening? It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and is making its way toward you through all the other shadows. On the ceiling? Yes, the darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away. Let's follow the shadow's movements. It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends. Officer, is there something up there? The lieutenant follows your gaze, attempting to see whatever it is that you are seeing. Oh no, you've lost sight of it. Where did it go? Let's blink. The long blink. Oh, okay, I think we found our crab man. You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it? And now we can hear spooky things. The shadow is a man, but a man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He is studying you intently. The crab man. Hey, who's there? The man leans forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be all right. You come to the right place.
Oh, okay. That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Methk and a district in Jamrock. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Methks in Revachol. Hold on, stop it right there. Pussy, what's with this? I'm not scared, I just don't understand why the female sexual organs have to be associated with weakness, right?
You really got a case of frayed nerves, pussy. And this usage comes from pusillanimous. Everybody knows that.
Oh. Oops.
Chill out, man. Here you could receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of that despair at the bottom of that bottle.
Interesting. All right.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
We're absolutely going to question him, Kim. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Sheesh. I guess I have a bit of a problem and it's been getting out of hand lately, but...
Está crudo, way. I see deep inside you. Your body and your spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence. And you don't even know it.
Oh, I'm very in touch with my suffering, sir.
Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc El Vino is wrecking on your mind and your spirit. Necesita parar, homie.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Kim is like, you know what? You should stop drinking alcohol. Let's listen to what this man has to say. For some reason, I feel like you have a point there.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes.
His voice echoes in the cold air of the church. We gained a new thought. Wasteland of reality. It has been brought to your attention that you're an alcoholic, and that it's a sickness, and it's killing you. You're crawling on your knees through life, your booze-filled belly dragging on the ground, your brain now fuzzy, now in overdrive, your hair sticking together with today's cold sweat and yesterday's vomit. Perhaps you're right. Perhaps they're right. Anything is better than this, even bone-dry reality itself. Maybe you can quit. Oh. So maybe we can give up our alcoholism. Well, that's not the right way of putting it, but yeah, maybe we can try to sober up, basically. What would we want to give up if we did? Maybe Cop of the Apocalypse, just because we don't use these skills at all, really. Well, can't do it until we level up anyway, so. Anyway, let's continue.
This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
He sways gently on the beams, waiting for you to take it all in. You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game? Whatever it is, he's quite confident about it. Just look how gracefully he sways. 'Tis not an act, my liege, saving perchance he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot. You must be the crab man. Never known myself to be a crab, but if that's the name you've got for me, I won't stop you from using it. Hey, it's your neighbors who came up with it, not me. He reconsiders this for a moment. I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. He pauses. It may be that I gotta work on my technique. That's not the only technique he's working on. Look at those carved sculptures. And is that a satchel of tools over there? Oh, so he was adding the sculptures that we came across. Interesting. Havoc? Havoc? Are you okay? Replaced? Is that the name of a game? Replaced? You sound hyped, so I'm excited. You're gonna like this, I think. Okay, man, I can't wait to get all caught up on these trailers and stuff today. I love E3. I really do. Like, it's consumerism completely, but I love it. I just love looking forward to new stuff coming out, you know? It's my Christmas, basically. Christmas in June, I guess. Did you carve all those sculptures there, sir? Sure am. Whittling wood used to be something I just did to busy my hands. Now I use those same hands in service of something greater than my own restlessness. Oh. Alright, let's consider the context and meaning here. We're talking about his sculptures, I guess? I see what you've done there. It's as if these figures are trying to become one with the church, or perhaps with the mother herself. It's all just for the mother, man. No need to overthink it. Okay. What were you before you became a crab man and a woodcarver? I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone. So many people losing their memory. A certain portent of doom. Nah, I say, it's not like that. Best thing that could happen to you, losing your memory. I don't... Do you remember your name, sir? I don't know. Like, if you actually got amnesia, I guess it's like, oh, you can reset your life. But man, I don't know if that's be worth it. Tiago is my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place among your fellows, your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore. My name's Harry. Extend your hand for a greeting. Grounded. They added a spider boss and an arachnophobia slider that makes it a blob. That's the Obsidian game, right? The like you're like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids like kind of setup. Is that what that is? That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters. He ignores your hand, his limbs a mere shadow below the ceiling. Not sure yet, kids. Yeah. Because, yeah, Obsidian had that, like, early access survival game, and they're owned by Microsoft now, so I bet that is what it is. What are you doing here, buddy? This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there, a way out into nothingness. He nods toward the ceiling. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration. There's a perforation in the world up there, he says. I circle it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly. This mother of silence, you mean her? Point to the window. No, there's a new god in town, and she can't be painted or sculpted because she has no limbs or even a face. She is the end. I'm very intrigued. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will. You ever heard of Ayudid Chronicles? It doesn't ring a bell, no. Ayudin Chronicles. No, I don't think I know that one. What will happen once you drink from this perforation? You need to hear about it? Okay. I have so many games to catch up on after stream today. I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally at one with the state of the world before reality began. Oh, Final Fantasy style game. It's funny, every few years, Microsoft decides we need to, like, go after Japan, you know, the audience in Japan, and they you know, get a Japanese dev to make an RPG, and it never works, but it's always interesting seeing them try anyway. I'm fine with them continuing to try. There's usually something interesting that comes out of it, regardless. That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that. Oh, are we talking about drugs here? You sure you didn't just switch one drug for another? It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service. Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his very own self. Faith is a kind of drug. I've heard that before, Way. He shakes his head. But I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think, when's the last time you woke up from silent communion with a hangover, regretting what you did last night? I think love might have been my drug of choice, and I think I'm still hungover from it. She took you for a good spin, huh? He looks at you gravely. Don't worry, bro. That love is but a drop compared to the ocean of the mother's love. Well, okay. The mother will eat all of you and never spit you out. Okay, I was being insensitive. Sorry, let's move on. No worries, man. I know this shit takes time. Well, I still don't know what you're doing in this church, climbing around on the rafters. I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory. Oh, are they doing Age of Empires 4? I still haven't played one of those games. They look cool. But like strategy games and me, I have a very selective success rate. You should sing for me, the superstar cop. I ain't from no Marietti, if that's what you're thinking, and the song I sing is silent as the mother. Marietti is a method style of music and dance commonly seen at all manner of festivities, especially weddings. It's delightfully quaint, owing to its peasant origins. He lost his cool there for a moment. Seems you hit a nerve. How did you find this place, this church? Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, eh? It didn't belong to me. Are these yours? Show him the scarf and shoes you found lying around. I think they were a long time ago. He looks at the red clothing items in your hand. I had to shed them like skins to get closer to the center of the silence. You can have them. I don't need them anymore. They look pretty dapper, actually. The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows. You've been here a long time. Do you know why the church was abandoned? Police raid a while back, he responds, his voice suddenly flat. Oh. Did you witness it? Not really, or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything. Oh, they're doing Outer Worlds too. Wow. Well, that's great. I know people like that game, but I had no idea how successful it was. Well, cool. I watched Wolfie T play through a bunch of that, and it looks like totally my kind of game. It's like everything else. I just need to find the time to play it, but I'm really glad they're getting to do a sequel. It sounds like Obsidian is doing quite well under Microsoft, so good for them. So FYI, buddy, some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub / drug manufacturing facility. Let's be honest about that. The ones in the tent outside, right? I seen them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably scared of me. Do they have a reason to be scared? Nah, man, they look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore anyway. Anymore? So what do you think about the nightclub, that is? Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up here, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company. Do you know where the other spooker is? Point at the strange machines around you. Other spooker? Oh, esa vieta muy estudiosa, he laughs. Dunno, Holmes. Viejita is grandma? Oh, so there is another person living in the church, and it's a viejita? No, I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. He scratches his head. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear. It's true. And you don't know where she is. That's what I said, Holmes. How can you not know that when you both live here? Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We've got different interests. So you've got nothing else to tell me. How she looks, what she does, who is she? I'm afraid not, Essay. Just have to wait until she comes back, or search through her radio computer. Ah, right. Let's get the password here. Have you by any chance heard the viejita say the password to her radio computer? Too many times, Essay. You need it for something? Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety. Top Gun is coming to Flight Simulator. Oh my god. Interesting. Do they have any fighter jets in that game at this point? I don't think so, right? That's such a serious game. It's kind of weird to have Top Gun. I mean, not the planes, but just Top Gun is this very brash, hyper masculine kind of movie. So having that in Flight Simulator is kind of funny to me. But that's cool. I kind of forgot that sequel is still supposed to be coming out at some point. I know it got not killed, but delayed by COVID. It's gonna be terrible, but I'm gonna watch it. I grew up watching Top Gun. I've seen that movie probably 100 times, and I gotta see the sequel. So they flew over Atoll Islands. It was amazing. That sounds awesome. I don't think that's a game for me. Even though it's very pretty, but I don't think I would actually enjoy playing it. But I'm glad they're still updating it and doing goofy stuff like that. Yes, I need it for a murder investigation. The lieutenant raises his eyebrow, but doesn't say anything. Don't sweat it, Vato. The password is afterlife death. What do you think of that? Makes me almost pity La Nihilista Pequeña when I hear it. Alright, thanks. That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure how it's relevant to our investigation. Well, it's a task in our video games. We're gonna keep doing it. All right, let's break into this computer.
Good morning, Fortress accident on Saint-Brun. This is the East Insulindian Rapid Station.
I think I have the right password. After life, death. Good, I've unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Fortress accident, is there anything else I can do for you today? Fortress accident, like the one in the doomed commercial area? I have 2 machines registered to this company name in Martinez, one on Saint-Brun, the other on Rue de Saint-Ghislain. Saint-Brun, that's the church. The lieutenant gestures around him. And the Rue de Saint-Ghislain, that's the doomed commercial area. Okay, I think we're done. So let's press print. The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal. All right, let's read through this giant printout. The first entry, made on the 4th February 51 by an unknown author, is short and concise. Arrived at the church, the door was boarded up, so I used a crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath. 4th of February? That's over a month ago. Whoever set up these machines has been here for quite a while. Do you think this log might be connected to the case? I'm gonna say no. Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric. Second entry. 6th February 51. I had a little chat with the local fisherman. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking Esker series? Something advanced? Why would she need an antenna? Why would anyone need any of this equipment here? He steps on a wire running on the ground, inspecting it with his boots. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up, called Simo for help. Heard the others are back to making art, drinking somewhere out of town. Solislaw started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked. Oh, so she worked with the game developers that we found. Or at least their office. Okay, I didn't... Maybe I knew that and forgot. I don't remember. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know, everything thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right. A data loss? Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed and how everyone thought it was the author's fault? Let's just keep reading. Artists, programmers, Lexi? Who are all these people? Harry, we know who they are. I think these people worked in the radio computer games business, the one we saw in the doomed commercial area. They must be her former co-workers. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church, going to start working again tomorrow 8 a.m. Strike. He strokes his chin. We're nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading, I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics. Is she talking about... The lieutenant looks to his right, toward the silence. Yes, the first recordings confirmed that the swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here. So when we walked into that silence, it really was like a column. I mean, it's like, she says it's like 3 meters wide, which is wider than my arms, but still. A column of silence in this church. Okay. The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk? But what could it be? Look at the water basins behind you. The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them, no ripples. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my work. That would have been, Elise or something? I forget what her name was. Estelle. The disco man must be Estelle. She must be describing Estelle. The girl on the ice sounds like her, yes. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Marnay's. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her. That was us. We accessed the computer. The storekeeper must be Plaisance. I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine. No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. This is how you learn things about machines. Don't skip the Forza Horizon trailer. It's mind-blowing. Those games are so good. Like, I've only played 4, or was it 3? Well, it would have been 3. Really, really chill driving games. Like, there's still no Burnout Paradise, but they're the closest thing to it since Burnout Paradise. So yeah, where is the setting for Horizon 5? Because they pick a new setting for every game. Photorealistic Mexico. Wow, okay. Interesting. A new 2-meter aux cable, noodles, crackers, Ping Ping energy drinks, water, toothpaste, gum, also some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. Ooh. Suna the programmer. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer. All right, we found her. Or she found us.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
She glares at you as she holds down the off button for several seconds. The machine reboots. Yes, you are breaking in, but not into her radio computer. You're a master circuit bender. I don't know what that means.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
Let's get weird. We're not just breaking in. I'm pursuing a mysterious lead, searching for my lost identity.
You won't find any answers from here.
She barely looks up from the keyboard. You hear the machine whir back to life.
It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
I'm pretty sure we didn't.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
Do we just wait for her to stop? Is that what we're doing here? Let's quick save.
What is it?
The woman is still hunched over the keyboard, gently illuminated by the purring machine. I didn't break anything, did I?
No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper.
It does not look like a big loss to her. Hey, are you the lead programmer of Wirral Untethered by any chance?
Yes. Or, no. Not anymore. That project is dead.
Yeah, that matches what we saw. She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized, rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back. Sorry, but who are you? What are you doing here?
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages.
Okay.
If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
What would we hire her for? She turns back to the terminal. Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she was still a teenager. Have you seen the Crab Man? No. But you know he's around. Yes. And you're okay with this. He's seen you. And the Crab Man has seen you. I don't care. I don't care about crabmen. She barely looks up, now tinkering with the machine's printer. Why are there so many machines in this place? I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything. Why do you need an antenna? I use the AR-1 as my REM prefix processing unit. That's your computer, right? Mm-hmm. And that antenna is its processing unit? Yes. You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you? She has stopped working now. Not really. All right, well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna. What does on air mean? On the front, the unified front of radio waves, licensed and controlled by Lintel in the East Insulindic region. It's all around us. That's what on air means. Hey, we leveled up. Like love. And the AR-1, is it a good antenna? I guess it is. So far, I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage, and the operation has been surprisingly stable. But it's not the cheapest one on the market, so I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Fraser 1000 is a foolproof line for civilians. Oh, thank you. That's very helpful. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many milieus dedicated to that sort of thing. Alright, what are you doing with your computer? I'm working. That's helpful. The machine seems almost alien, with its pulsing core, the light casting her face in a strange shadow. Working on what? Could you... She closes her eyes. Could you just... shh for a moment? Or get to the point. I really need to focus on something. It's not just rudeness. It really is hard to concentrate on whatever she needs to do, and you're not helping. Okay. Isn't your computer made exclusively for the government? So you do know something about computers. She looks up, almost proud of you. You're right, Prefect is mostly used by the government peeps. So why do you have it? She inhales sharply before answering in a single breath. Because I needed something good for my investigation, and REM Civic is widely agreed to be below all standards, so I had to upgrade. Besides, owning a REM Prefect isn't such a big deal anymore. No, actually, it is kind of a big deal. You don't see REM Prefects in every police department, for example. Did you steal it? No. She looks up, disturbed. No, of course not. I know a friend of a friend who used to freelance for the Coalition. I bought it from her. I was actually aiming for the military-grade REM Rational series, but couldn't find one. She pats her machine. Prefect is mainly based on the same technology as the Civic, but it does work better with newer antenna models, so I'm not complaining. What's with the weird bowls of water over there? They are connected to my REM Prefect. She looks up. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay? Thanks. Short and terse. There you have it. Whatever she's using them for, they're hers. Alright. What are you doing in an abandoned church? You really like those questions, don't you? There's a hint of amusement in her tired eyes. I'm a police officer. It's my job to ask questions. I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out, she says, ready to stand her ground. What research? I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world. Wait, what? She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said. The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. Is the hole connected to the data loss in your journal? Yes, that's what led me here. She stares at the burnished antenna on a nearby table, but I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that. Alright, what does that mean exactly? Exactly, what does it mean? There's something frantic about her as she locks her gaze with you, eyes shining like pearls. Up to now, it's been impossible to say what it is, because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist? She's suddenly absorbed in the conversation, waiting for your answer. That's a little above your pay grade at the moment. Okay, we couldn't pass that logic check, sadly. I can't even understand how we're talking about something that doesn't exist, let alone measure it. You measure it by its surroundings, by that which does exist, which is what I've been trying to do. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins. Ha! Hydro transducers. So that's what those water basins are. Devices for recording sound through water. Didn't Acel have a device that records sound through things? Maybe we could get that for her and, maybe they can all be friends. Do you know where this hole might be located? Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume. She looks up, eyes trying to pierce the pitch-black heights above, but without much success. Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark, most of the tower disappearing into the shade. Why are you looking there? There's this place at the back of the church, a place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow, and the higher you go, the less you record. The Pillar of Science. Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk? Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place. Well, this is where the Crabman lives, ma'am. I know. She's totally fine with this weird dude here. You don't think Crabman might be somehow responsible here? No, I don't. So why isn't your research going well? Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... She stops mid-sentence. You know what? It could be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work. Alright, that's all I wanted to know about the scary hole in the world, for now. How do you feel about anodic dance music? What? I hate it. I bet she hasn't even heard it. Have you even listened to it? Like, actually listened? Yeah, like all the time. My tent neighbors don't really ease up with their partying, do they? She pulls a face that looks absolutely scathing. Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind, it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music. Okay, right. But how do you feel about a club for dance music? This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? She looks up, shaking her head. I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here. What do they want to build, then? Take a guess, why don't you? I heard they're also planning on building a drug lab. Bingo. That's exactly what they're up to. Wonderful, the lieutenant whispers, admiring the embellished pillars and the spectacular architecture in the church. Now this house of worship is also going to be a drug lab. Always something fascinating happening in tents. They're just encouraging an active youth culture here. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, what I said before. Not possible to appreciate that kind of music without being high as a kite. So that's settled. Great. She supports her chin on her hand, visibly pleased. No nightclubs in the church, then. Wait, what? Help ravers start a nightclub. Tell Andre about Suna's thoughts on the club. Okay. All right. I think we have a level up, and we wanted to do a thought cabinet next, right? So I think we want to I was leaning towards Cop of the Apocalypse. Most of these are pretty good. Maybe we'll get rid of the volumetric shit compressor. The stats don't really do anything for us. And then we'll try to get over our alcoholism. This is gonna be a long one, but I think it'll be good. Okay, so I guess we're done in here for now. So let's head out and head back to the tent and tell them what we found. I'm very interested to learn more about this hole in the world.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
All right, let's do this first. I know Noid has his signs, but what's the deal with Egghead there? He's a quiet man, mostly communicates through music, and by being a master of ceremonies. What's that? You know, a host, a declaimer of slogans. He's a performer, gets the people going. Interesting, sire. A bit like you then, an MC, for short. How do you communicate with him? Well, he's just kind of here. I don't really know how to communicate with him. Have you ever really talked to him? Yeah, sometimes when I, stumble and find my way into his center. You have to hear a lot of hardcore to the mega first, though. Oh. So we have to go through that dialogue tree maybe multiple times, is what he's saying? I don't know. The man smiles mysteriously, choosing to let the beat speak for itself. I get it. He's a puzzle. All right, I checked out the church. And what happened? I talked to the crab man. Oh man, who is he? What did you think? Seems okay. Very spiritual. Really? Huh. What's he doing in the church? Just preaching and praying from the looks of it. No matter, the young man mumbles gruffly. Is he going to be a problem? Yeah, Noid is right. Let's get back to the point. What are we going to do about him? These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do. He told me he wouldn't mind the nightclub at all. It's fine. Oh, man, I don't know, man. Doesn't feel like a major hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly hyper time? I don't think he really gives a damn about you or anyone else. I guess it's not a massive problem, now that I think of it. Everyone is welcome to dance till the morning light. Yeah! Maybe, I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes. Did you see her? Yeah, that's Suna. A programmer? That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub? She did not like the nightclub idea. What a pity. That's my favorite thing in the world. He drops a hammer back into a toolbox, and she doesn't like it at all. A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam and into a laser-lit future of dance and unity? Unity? Dance? She made it very clear that she won't leave until her own project is finished. And you can't just evict her? No, we have to come up with a different solution. Look at you, Honor Man. No, Noid, he's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. I'm sure there's a workaround. We can make a deal not to bother her. If that's okay with her. We only want to get in the church and spread the joy and ecstasy of music. The lines in the dark exist, coexist. At least Crabman seems like an advanced being. He's hard, he'll understand. Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she really like dance music? She does not. She despises it. Egghead cannot believe what you just said. It makes him pump the jam a little slower for a moment, but then he returns to the full swing of it. No worries, we'll figure it out. The man nods enthusiastically, then leans in and whispers, if coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you. What do you think? Perhaps if you dropped the drug lab, it would be easier to convince her. He looks around the tent. Oh man, but the drug lab was like an integral part of getting the club going. For me, it was my favorite part. Chemistry is great. Besides, imagine all the drugs we could do if we had our own drug lab. Yeah, it's true. I mean, anodic music is great and all, but drugs, they make you feel really good. When did you last feel really, really good? I've never felt good in my entire life. But that's exactly what drugs are for. Exactly. Time to expand your mind. Alright, I'll try convincing her. Good luck, friend. Okay. Convince Suna to cooperate with the Ravers or evict her. Okay. Okay, well, I don't know how we're going to do that, but okay. Let's talk to Estelle here again real quick, and then we'll head back in the church and see what we can do. Hello, Estelle.
Hello again.
Okay. Okay. All right. She has nothing new to say. That's fine. All right, let's head back to the church. I guess I'm taking the long way around. That's okay, though. Oh, or maybe not. Okay, I guess we can't actually go around there. I don't know why she would have something new to say to us as far as convincing her to allow this nightclub, but we're invested at this point, so.
Yes, what is it?
What if you didn't have to leave? I talked to Andre. He wants to make it work. I don't want to make anything work, she replies, her expression unchanged. Hold on, you don't want to make anything work? Yes, anything. I don't want to make anything work. Huh. All right, let's see if we can boost our suggestion stat before we try to convince her. All right, let's get out of here. So suggestion is what we want. And I think we had a thought that's like +1 to suggestion for empty hands or something like that. So, all right. Suggestion, blue naval coat. I do love the idea that putting on these different clothes, just magically changes our personality or whatever. Okay. Let's see what we got now.
Yes, what is it?
72% isn't bad. All right, let's try it. Nice, we did it. Easy. When her research is done, she can move out. Listen, about your research, you mentioned earlier that it's not going very well. Maybe I can help with something? What? She looks up from her work, disoriented. No, I don't really need any help with the project. But if I could help you finish the project, then you wouldn't have to live in a church next to the Boom Boom anymore. Just think about it. She thinks about it, a glassy look in her eyes. A gust of wind brings more snow in from the broken gallery. It touches her hair. All right, bring me the game's offsite copy from my old workspace if you really want to help. It's stored on a filament memory, and I'm unable to go and fetch it myself. Ah, we have this already. No, that's the production schedule you stole and accessed without authorization. I don't need it. Okay. In his defense, it was simply lying in the desk drawer of an abandoned cubicle. Okay, but still. Okay, so, alright, I'm guessing we need to get into the ice cream machine, and we need a good pry bar, and she has a pry bar, so maybe this is one we need. Why do you need the offsite copy? It's a backup of my former employer's project, the radio game we were working on. It's stored on a filament memory, just like the one inside this radio computer. She points to the glowing cube inside the machine. She's making it extra simple for you. The backup itself is destroyed now, but I'm hoping to use what's left of it to pinpoint the exact location of the anomaly. You just have to go to my old workspace and get the filament. Hold on. If it's called an offsite copy, why is it still on site? Oh god, not this again. Old programmer arguments coming back is the worst. She takes a deep breath before letting it all out. It is not on site, it is in the basement. Perfectly safe and not connected to the front at all. Somerville is former Playdead devs. Playdead. I know that name. What is that? Okay. Playdead. I'm Googling it. Oh, it is them. Okay. Oh, so it's, interesting. So it's the devs, but not the same studio. That's interesting. Did Playdead shut down, or are they just doing different things? Yeah, interesting. Basement. Sounds like it's still technically still on site. And no, taking it outside the building wouldn't have protected it from the data loss. There's nothing wrong with keeping the backup in the basement. What happened was a freak accident that has nothing to do with how the backup was stored. Oh, okay. We clear? She stares at you with pleading, furious eyes. Alright. Yeah, that's the one. You can get in through the bookshop. I've already been inside. Good, then you might know the giant ice bear fridge in the building's cellar. The filament is inside the fridge. Just go and get it. Oh. Okay. Yeah, we accessed that fridge before, no problem. But you've been to the fridge and it wasn't there. There was a note saying it had been moved to a safer place. Wait, a note from whom? Did it specify where they took the filament memory? It said the offsite copy had been taken to a nearby ice cream maker. The note was signed by someone named Sulislaw. They added Jack Sparrow to Sea of Thieves. That's fine. I mean, obviously it fits. Oh, that reminds me though. I guess Ubisoft's event didn't have anything about their Skull and Bones game. If it's still called that, their pirate game, I guess. So that game is still in development hell, I guess. Zawiza, of course, she relaxes. Our project lead, Sulislaw Zawiza. God, he was always so hellbent on keeping the copy somewhere safe. And feature creep, she mutters, and the Valley of the Heads. Like it would have made a difference. The offsite copy was perfectly safe when the data loss happened. That data loss was anomalous. She crosses her hands defiantly. That's dead too, probably. Couldn't have competed with Sea of Thieves. Well, I assumed the Ubisoft one was a single-player game because they originally took the sailing and piracy stuff from Assassin's Creed and were spinning it off into its own game. So if it's single-player, then I guess it's not a problem. But in terms of competing with Sea of Thieves, but I don't know. I'm really surprised that game has been so difficult for them to get out. I thought it was going to be deathmatch. Maybe. I guess I haven't been paying attention to it that closely. I think I just assumed that since it started out as a Assassin's Creed spin-off, that it was going to be single player. But I don't know. And the heads, I won't even get into the heads. Millions of them. Go find that copy from that ice cream maker, will you? I found the ice cream maker, but I couldn't get it open. This is getting ridiculous. Can't you just defrost it? Or I don't know about the ice cream maker. Just figure something out. Why can't you get it your damn self? The bookstore lady hates me. Says I'm part of the curse, whatever that means. Wait, are you part of the curse? Of course not. Anyway, I don't have my keys anymore and she won't let me in. Why does she think you're part of the curse? Because she's from Martinez, and people from Martinez have never seen a radio computer. She thinks it emits elemental evil. Don't be too harsh. That's only because of their socio-economic situation. Yes, but she literally started praying for the higher powers when she first saw my REM Civic. I'm not making this up. The lieutenant coughs like he's amused. Once I came in one morning, only to find that my terminal was full of those strange trinkets and amulets. Wards. It looked like some Seminine magic. Alright, I'll go look. Oh, she hands you what looks like an oversized pry bar. Great. Here's my multi-tool. You might need it to hack loose some ice. It opens everything. If you can get me the off-site copy, then you can keep the Volsund. Hell yeah. This pry bar is version 2.0 for professionals like you. Okay. Lady, how you doing? Are you back home yet? Are you still stuck in traffic? We tried the smoky tea today, lady, and it was actually really, really good. If you can find some Lapsang Souchong tea, I recommend it. It was super good. Okay, let's fast travel back to the other side of the map. Thank God that's working now. I don't know why it wasn't. How was the tea? Yes, I finally made it home, all unpacked and all the laundry done. Wow, congrats. Now for a sandwich and a nap. Yeah, no, the tea was amazing. Joel was like perfect recommendation there. It was so good. In fact, I had the link up earlier. Do I still have it up? Hold on. So this is the one that I ordered. So yeah, if you can find that one in stores, like, pick it up. It's really good. Yeah, and yeah, Havoc was telling me about the Bethesda thing. It sounds like Starfield is coming out next year, which is good, but nothing on Elder Scrolls, so that's too bad. But at least we know after November 11th, 2022, the next thing from them is Elder Scrolls. So we at least have that time frame for what it's worth. What? Havoc says what? All right, let's equip this super fancy multi-tool. Yeah, nothing on ES6. Yeah. Sadly. Wait, I thought machine is unplugged, but we have the thing. We've equipped the thing. Why can't we do it? Well, no, I don't think anybody was saying it was going to come out at the same time as Starfield. It's just we've known for years that it was going to be Fallout 76, Starfield, and then Elder Scrolls 6. So the sooner Starfield comes out, the sooner Elder Scrolls 6 will come out. So it's still going to be forever. We know this. We're at peace with this, but at least we have a somewhat clearer time frame. Stalker 2 stole the fucking show. Yeah, I'm after I'm done here, I'm gonna go look at all these trailers. I'm super excited. I love I love looking at trailers. I'm such a dork. Okay, look, we equipped the multi-tool. Why is the chance so low here? All right, let's quick save. Let's try to open this thing. We failed. Ice squeaks beneath your Volson multi-tool, but your fingers slip away from the tool, the lid shut as tightly as before. There's not much else to do other than wait for it to defrost or bulk up and get stronger. Oh. So if we plug it back in, does that actually make it easier? Okay, well, I guess we're stuck with that. Do I want to reload? I kind of want to reload. Let's reload. This is the first time I've reloaded, really. Not counting the game overs we had early on, but... Huh. I don't understand what the point of unplugging it was if it doesn't help. Can I boost my physical instrument? I can't imagine that we could do it enough to make a difference, but I guess we could try. Yeah, I don't think we got anything. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, that's just, I don't know. We're like locked out of that for now. I'm not sure what to do. Maybe we have to just come back in a day. I'm not sure. Okay. Well, I was hoping we could just like bust out that whole quest, but it seems like that is not the case. Okay, y'all. I think we're gonna call it there today. We went for almost 4 hours, which is pretty good, and it feels like we're creeping along in the quest here, but we're making progress, even though it is a bit slow, you know. Let me save here. Save. What do we got here? All right, let's get a raid going. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I'm gonna make lunch and play some Final Fantasy and catch up on all these trailers today. So I think it's gonna be a good day. Yeah, I'm always glad to have you here, lady. All right, we are. Let's see here. Let's raid Hooded Hidohui. I probably did not say that right. But he's playing Final Fantasy Tactics, which I actually have not played, sadly. But I always love a good Final Fantasy game, so let's get that queued up here. So yeah, I will be back Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific. And we will be playing probably Final Fantasy XIV on Tuesday. And then Wednesday at 7 p.m. I will be playing more Disco Elysium. So we will continue this madness. Oh, okay. Internal Microsoft documents reveal the terms for certain exclusive Xbox games like Stalker 2, which will be exclusive to Xbox for 3 months. In these documents, Xbox confirmed that the upcoming Stalker 2 will be an Xbox console exclusive for 3 months when it's released in Q4 2021. I see. I guess 3 months isn't too bad. It's better than a year, you know? Still kind of a bummer, though. All right, y'all. Everybody, have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend. I will see you soon, and yeah, take care out there.